Okay, guys, and welcome to episode 31, season 5 of MD Globe Muscle. In this episode, we have 4 guests this week. We have Michael Daboul, the winner of the Pittsburgh Pro. We have Eric Wood making his pro debut at the New York Pro this weekend. We have Carlos Thomas Jr. telling his plans for his next show after he pulled out of the New York Pro. And we have Carlos Philbrick just turning pro at the Muscle Contest Island. So I hope you enjoy this episode of MD Globe Muscle. Enjoy. And welcome back to MD Globe Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined all the way for, well, I'm assuming it's bloody Pittsburgh because he won the show yesterday, Michael Daboul! Woo!
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Mate, you're still tanned up.
Yeah, still ready. I have another show in 6 days.
Oh, do you?
Oh, right.
Hang on,
Yes,
so...
I'm doing New York Pro as well.
Oh, of course. Oh, sorry, you did tell me, mate. You did tell me. So, so obviously the big news, you won the Pittsburgh Pro last night. Just take us through it, mate. What was it like as an experience? Because it's such a big, well-renowned, well-respected, huge show, and it's a big show to win. It's a good title to have. So take us through it, mate. What was it like?
It was like crazy, man. Like I've won Arnold at the UK and I won Dubai Pro, but Pittsburgh Pro felt special to me because since I was a kid, I was watching the show and the athletes go to guest pose on this show. Like it used and still to be like one of the biggest show in bodybuilding. So since I started prep, I wanted to be on this stage because it was a dream of me since I was a kid. So when I stepped on stage and like people talked before the show that Michael's the favorite to win, I was already over the moon to be named as the favorite to win in such a big show, man. Yeah, and winning it and making it real, like it felt amazing. It made me feel over the moon, man.
So I was obviously keeping up with your progress with your coach Patrick Tour, and I think it was 3 weeks out. You weren't. There was a bit of. Were you struggling to make weight, or were you? Or I think I understand that you made your condition by the skin of your teeth.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, like at 3-4 weeks out, the condition of me wasn't where it should have been. So like I almost told my coach, I said, what do you think if I postpone the show? Because I think I need another 3-4 weeks to get ready because I don't want to be the Michael who's known with his condition to step up on stage with like soft or not looking at my best. I told him I want to be looking at my best or nothing else. He replied to me, no, we will be ready. We will not make plan B. We will stick to the plan. I know your physique. I know your body, how it will respond. And when it start responding, it responds very quickly. And that what happened the last 3 weeks. It's like I start changing every day. Weight start dropping very quickly. I was every day excited to sleep and wake up and see new lines showing on me. So yeah, so like the last 3 weeks I changed really a lot, which it helped me to be ready to this show. Otherwise I would have like to consider postponing the show because I will not step on stage unless I'm 100%.
The problem is you're a victim of your own success because Michael Daboul soft is still probably, he would still probably be the hardest guy on stage. You've set the standard for yourself, and that is the problem.
Exactly. Yes, I set a standard to myself that I will not cross it and go like down from this. So my standard is really high, and I don't want the judges looking at Michael and saying like, wow, he was more shredded than this. No, I want them all the time to say he's the same guy, shredded every show, but improving. That's what I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear like he's softer, but he's a little bit bigger. No, I wanted to hear he's still shredded and he improved a lot. And that's just what we did at Pittsburgh Pro.
But thing is, I think possibly because you came in right at the last minute, did you retain more fullness this time? Because I know you've struggled with someone who gets into that kind of condition and you push yourself to get to that level. Sometimes I know you've flattened out quite a bit. You know, that's a problem you have to face.
Yeah, so last year we tried two different types of things in every show, and every time it worked to make us like shredded to the bones, but we almost missed the fullness, especially at the Olympia. At the Olympia, my body was so tired because of doing 6 shows in 1 year, so
Wow.
my body was really tired. So like I ate way too much, way so much, and I couldn't never get full. Like I was eating almost like 700 gram of carbs for 3 days in a row, which is about 2,000 gram of carbs total, and still not full enough. So it was just my body was so tired. So for this show, I was fresh, and we tried new things. Like usually we reduce water a little bit, not too much, but this time we kept water all the way through up until like 2 hours out from the show, which has made me look really full.
Have you had a chance to properly look at the pictures and the videos yet from last night? And are you happy?
Yes. I'm not happy with the color. The color of the tan was really like light, and it made me look a little bit washed out. So I wasn't happy with my color, but the shape, I was really happy with it. I was extremely proud of what I brought. I could have fixed a little bit my back pose, but other than that, like the shape, it was the best of Michael until now.
Good, because I haven't had a chance to properly look at the pictures and the videos yet, and really compare to because obviously I saw you at the Olympia. You know, that was the first time I've seen you on the flesh. You know, and I was really, really impressed, mate. I mean, actually, can we just quickly go back to the Olympia, mate? Because that was, to place in an Olympia that tough. I mean, that's as impressive as winning a pro show, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was really amazing feeling to be top 10 the Olympia. Now everyone's saying Michael is a top 10 Olympia, so every show I go to, Michael's the favorite because he's the top 10 Olympia. That really changed my life, and I'm grateful to be placed in the top 10. Even I felt I am at the worst physique of 2022. I stepped on stage in 2022 5 times. And from all those times, I felt the Olympia was the worst version of me, and I still placed top 10.
Wow!
That really made me confident that I can be better on the next one. So this year, I'm definitely confident that I will be in the first callout.
But the thing is, mate, I mean, it's not just placing top 10 in Olympia that separates you from everybody else. It's top 10 in Olympia that had 59 competitors in it. So that's not like saying top 10 in any Olympia. That's top 10 in the Olympia for Classic.
100%. And the biggest Olympia ever. Usually they are 30 people, 24, 36 max was before the year before. This time the list had 64 athletes, 5 pulled down, and 59 left on stage. So we were a lot. It was really big shows. To place top 10 out of 59 people, that was really achievement, a big achievement. I felt so proud. I felt very happy with the results after the Olympia. I wasn't complaining at all. I felt I am where I want to be, and this is it.
Mate, there was guys coming in, because obviously I was sat there front row, and I was sat there with my pad and obviously the notes, and I'm waiting for the guys that are going to come in off so you can strike them off, so you can start planning who's going to make top 10, top 15. But I was every single guy was I really like Tony Duong's physique. I mean, I was really, because I'd interviewed him and I was looking out for him, and I was expecting him to I was wanting to be off, and everyone was on. Every single person was on.
The Olympia was so difficult because you couldn't see any single one of them coming off. Everyone came so peeled, so hard. But I still made a statement with my condition. It separated me from everyone else because I came to the Olympia really peeled. There is no fat in me left. It was the worst feeling ever to be that lean and that condition.
And if that's your 6th show of the year, like you said, your body was tired. You said it was the worst version of yourself because you'd done so many shows, and to still place top 10, mate, I think that's as good as winning Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
So, did you struggle to make weight for the Pittsburgh, given that you were fuller?
Like the day before, I was 93.3, which is 1 pound under the weight limit.
Is that all you are?
So one day before the weigh-in, but when I woke up on the weigh-in day, I was 94.2, which is 0.2 over the weight limit. I was, yesterday I was just lighter and I had the same diet. What happened?
What?
Why did I go up? I think stress made me gain some weight, and I had to stay for about 7 hours with barely sipping water, just sipping water until the weigh-in. I made weight, then I start carving up. But for the first 7 hours, I didn't eat, I'm almost just sipping water, waiting for the weigh-in. I did the weigh-in, and then I start carving up from there. And on the show day, I woke up lighter. I woke up 93. So it's only the weigh-in day.
Yeah.
After all the food, all the carbs, I wake up like 1 kilo under the limit, and on the weigh-in day, I was over the limit. It's just like the opposite of what I need.
Mate, I'm shocked. You look a lot heavier and a lot thicker than 94 kilo. I was expecting you to be a 100 kilo guy or plus.
Yeah. It just, when you are super shredded, and we learned how to be very full this time. Like now we know how to come full to the stage, really, really full, and keeping that shredded, that like grainy look. So me and Patrick learned this time how to do it properly. And I think from every show from now on, every show I will be very full and super shredded in the same time, because we grab it. We knew how to work. It worked with us. Like, as I said, we tried too many different stuff last shows. Every time we felt like we could be fuller. And this time, coach, he said, after every meal you eat and you drink 2 liters, you become so full. Like, if I reduced your water, you straight away go flat. So let's keep the water. And at 1 day out, I was drinking 5 liters a day. Usually we drop it to 3 liters. So I kept 5 liters. And on the show day, I woke up. He made me drink 3 liters before the show.
Before the show?
Like, before the show, 3 liters, which is the show 3 p.m. So I woke up 6 in the morning. He pushed 1.5 liter. And then from 9 to 12, another 1 liter. So this is 2.5. From 12 to 3, half liter. So we kept the water all the way through, and 3 liters on the show day. That made me look like really full.
God. Thing is, as a bodybuilder's mentality in a stage, I mean, that sort of thing, I wouldn't have been able to do that, even if my coach had told me. I'd be like, I'm sorry, it's just not. I can't do that. I can't take the fluid.
I was like, Coach, are you sure? But I'm drinking, I'm taking the photos.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm looking bigger and bigger and bigger, and the same lines. It's not like the lines is not getting worse or saying, oh my God, I look a little bit soft now. No, the same lines, and I'm just popping and being bubbly. So that's what made us like, okay, let's keep the water. And we kept it all the way through, and it really worked.
So your game plan for the New York Pro, have you spoke to Patrick about that yet, based upon how you looked and felt at Pittsburgh, or was it pre-decided before Pittsburgh?
It was pre-decided before Pittsburgh. Three months ago, we decided to do these 2 shows back to back.
Yeah.
So now for New York, the thing is, in New York, they wait in at 8 p.m., which is very late. And the show is at 8 a.m., which is very early. So I will have 12 hours only to sleep and carb up.
Right.
So from 8 p.m., I have to carb up and at the same time sleep.
What?
So will be very difficult. Like, I have only 12 hours. So it will be very difficult, because if the wait in the morning, 8 a.m., I make it very easy. Because when I wake up, I'm always 94. But until the night, to hold the 94, that means you will barely eat and you will barely drink, because during the day I become 97.
Okay.
When I sleep,
by the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I'm 97, and then I sleep. I wake up 3 kilo lighter, because I'm going to toilet and taking it off. But this time the weight-in is the diet at the end of the day, which is my 97 kilo. So this will really stressing us out. He said we might be not as full as we were in Pittsburgh, but we will try our best. Like, if we make the weight, that means we probably will win the show. So all we need is to make weight.
And obviously you're feeling good and confident because you've just bloody won Pittsburgh the
Very
week before New York, you know?
1,000,000%. Like, I feel very confident. There is no new names jumping into the show.
Oh.
So the same people who compete in Pittsburgh, they are doing New York, except the person who took second. The guy who took second is doing another show, which is in the same weekend in New Mexico. So there's two shows, and there is New Mexico and there is New York Pro. So he chose to do that show, and I'm doing New York Pro, which is a smart move for him. So he will get a guarantee for qualification instead of having to fight again with me, and he might take another second place. So he said, no, there I can guarantee a win. Instead of here, I might beat him, I might not. So he actually made the show easier for me as well.
It's always a bit of a gamble if you do Pittsburgh right before the New York Pro, because if you win it, then the pressure's on, but the confidence is sky high as well. And if you don't win it, you're thinking, oh shit, I've got to go up against those guys again next week. Do you know what I mean? So in this instance, it really paid off for you, mate.
Yeah, 100%. I feel very confident. I'm winning New York Pro as well. Nice. So I will come back home with 2 titles: Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, 2 of the biggest show in the USA, which will really raise my name and will make me a higher contender for the Olympia.
Yeah, and you've won 2 Arnold UKs.
Yep, 2 Arnold UK and Dubai Pro. Dubai Pro was really difficult as well.
Yes, I saw that.
So this is if I won New York, it will be my 5th pro win in only 2 years. 2020, in 3 years.
Wow! And I tell you what, I loved your reaction when you won Dubai, mate. You went absolutely. I think he jumped about 30 feet in the air. He was so happy. You were like, yes! I was like, why did that one mean so much? Why did it appear that one meant more to you?
Because it was I'm from Syria, from the Middle East, and a lot of Syrians live in Dubai. So I felt I'm in my hometown, around my people. So the pressure was really high. I want to prove to my people I worth it. So I wanted to win in front of them. I want them to be happy for me. So I was so stressed. If I couldn't win, they would be so sad. So it meant so much to me to win the show. Just to be able to make them happy.
Nice. So where I know you moved to Dubai and you obviously lived in the UK. So where are you resident now? I mean, obviously you're in America traveling, but where are you living now, mate?
I'm still trying to rent my house so I can move to Dubai. So the plan is after New York, I will come back. I will rent my house in UK and I will move for good to Dubai. So I think it will be the last month in the UK when I come back.
Okay. So what's I mean, I asked this to everyone that lives and moves to Dubai. What is so special about Dubai, in your opinion? What do you like most?
The bodybuilding community is crazy there. The support for bodybuilding is crazy. The gyms are unbelievable. The atmosphere is really nice. So you feel very welcomed as a bodybuilder. Everyone respects you as a bodybuilder and they support you a lot. And a lot of sponsors opportunity open up there for you. And the weather, it's hot. It's really the UK, you walk in and sunny, nice weather, and 2 minutes later it starts raining and starts snowing.
Well,
so
3 days ago I had the stove heater on with the logs on, and now it's today it's 18 degrees. Do you know what I mean? It'll probably be pissing down with rain tonight.
Yeah, this is what make me depressed in the UK. Sometimes I want to go outside to enjoy the day, and it's just raining, and you have to sit home. You can't take even the dog outside because it's raining so heavily, and this happen every day, even in the summer.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
So, what are your goals for this year then? Obviously, the New York Pro, you've in your mind, you've already won that. What's the rest of the goals for the rest of the year? Because you're doing very well, mate.
I want to do more shows. I want to win more pro wins.
Nice.
But the coach, he wants me to stop. he want me to stop and take a rest and focus on the Olympia. But I will have I will chat with him after the show. We will reconsider some stuff. If he agreed, we will do a couple of more shows. So we reduce the amount of people who will be in the Olympia. We don't want 50 people. No.
Oh God, that was it was. I love Classic and I love to see all the guys up there, but I felt really bad for the guys that were bringing their best ever physique and they're on stage for 2 minutes, because they exactly. Imagine looking your best ever, winning maybe 1 or 2 pro shows, and you're on stage for a total of 90 seconds, Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, it was really long as well. Like, even since I did my stage routine, you need to wait another 60 athletes, which each athlete take 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you just warmed up, you pumped up, and you need to wait another 60 athletes to finish. And when they finish, you just feel so tired and sleepy. It was way too much. Like, I think 30 athletes should be the max in classic division. So that's why I want to do as much as I can shows, so I can prevent some people from qualification.
Yes. Right, before I let you go, Michael, obviously, did you see the guest posings last night? Because I've got to ask you this.
Oh, that was insane, man. Samson looked crazy.
I was just about to ask, who stole the show for you last night out of all of them?
1,000,000% Samson, being 7 weeks off.
Told you. Yeah,
Samson
off.
Stand out. Off completely.
Wink, wink. You know what I mean?
He looked bigger than any one of them. He's massive. He's huge. With lines, like, his legs looks like 2 weeks out. Fucking hell, he have lines everywhere in his legs. His legs always shredded, which is unbelievable.
Beautiful.
And he keeps so nice lines. In that size, he's like 330 pounds and off. This is crazy. I can
hang on. Andy's traveling a lot as well. He's been to Korea and he's traveling, and I don't know how he's doing it. I
have no idea how he can do that. Like, he was in Korea, 2 days later in Dubai, and then in Poland, and then to Italy, and now in Pittsburgh, and now next week in New York, and he keep putting size. Improving. That's insane. Like, I honestly felt like Samson stole the show. Derek looked crazy, but he looked crazy the same way last year in the guest posing. But Samson, seeing him next to Derek, he made him look small. Honestly, like, Samson's really huge, really huge. I think he's the biggest bodybuilder in the world right now.
Andy's aesthetic.
Aesthetic, yeah. He's very aesthetic. I think Samson, one word, he is the biggest bodybuilder in the world. Maybe not the thicker, like Nick. Nick is thick. When you look at Nick, he is very, very thick. But Samson, because he's tall and he's wide, he's big, he's massive. He's the biggest bodybuilder, 1,000,000%.
Michael, I know you're Syrian, but we are going to claim you as a British athlete. So... Because we're feeling pretty good, us British bodybuilding fans, with Samson, yourself, people like Neil Curry, all these great British athletes have got us, but we are claiming you as ours. So we're very proud of you, mate, for kicking ass internationally as well as nationally.
Thank you, mate. Like, I'm competing under the UK name. UK raised me. I've been living there for 11 years,
Nice.
So, like, half of me is Syrian and half of me is British. I feel very, very proud to represent the UK, When I compete, I always put the UK flag. Like, I love representing the UK because it raised me. It made me who I am. I become a bodybuilder in the UK, which is, I need to give it up to it.
Cool. Right, Michael, I'm going to let you get back to your chicken and your broccoli because you've got the New York Pro.
Man. Trust me, I just want to kill the time, so I will not be hungry for the next meal.
Because you've got the New York Pro, mate. So, and obviously that was won by a Brit last year, Neil Curry winning the New York Pro last year. So you got to keep it going, mate, the tradition.
Yeah, it will stay British. It will stay British.
This is a good start to the day. I'm not going to lie, Derek. Not going to lie. Michael, I'm going to let you go, mate, but thank you so much for this winner interview because, as soon as I saw the winner, I was like, right, I'm going to have to get him on Global today. So thank you for coming on at short notice. Congratulations for winning and all the best, and go kick some ass at the New York Pro this weekend, mate. Next weekend.
We'll get you We will give you the New York Pro title, and I will treat you when I'm back home, man.
Yeah! Oh, it's on camera. It's on camera. It's on camera. Right. Okay, then. Thank you so much, Michael. Congratulations, and I'll speak to you very soon.
Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Take care,
Have a
mate.
lovely day.
Bye-bye. And we are joined by a new guy I know very little about, but I thought he looked so bloody good on Instagram. I thought we've got to get him on. Eric Wood.
Whoa!
How you doing?
I'm really good, mate. As I said, sometimes in Global, I'll see someone on a feed or from an Instagram account or online or on a forum or something, and they just catch my eye. And I just think, okay, I want to find more out about this guy. So, Eric, I know very little about you, apart from the fact you're making your pro debut very, very soon. You work with a very, very good friend of mine, Patrick Tour. So let's get started with how you came to work with Patrick Tour from Switzerland.
So this was back in last May. So we've been together for about a year now. And I just saw the guys that he was putting out, very good condition. Very successful with all of his guys, and I reached out to him and we spoke through FaceTime, and decided to work together. And ever since then, been very good. Checking in with him, start off once a week, and then we're going. Now we're 6 days out, and it's the first show with him, so I'm very excited.
So let's quickly go back to how you turned pro and where you're from as well, because I don't even know that.
So I turned pro in North Americans in 2021.
Okay.
And I'm from Ohio, Canton, Ohio, which is, I don't know if you're familiar, but about an hour south of Cleveland. And then I just recently moved down to Tampa, Florida, just 3 months ago.
Okay. So what was the reason for the move?
Mainly just the weather. Up in Ohio.
Yeah. Ohio. Mate, Eric, I've been to Columbus, mate. I've been to Columbus.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yep, cold.
And during the Arnold there in March, wasn't a fan. I lived there my whole life, and always wanted to move to Florida, and it's been great down here. I'm training at MI40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's been down here 3 months. I don't plan on going back to Ohio.
So what do you do for a living?
I own a pressure washing business and window cleaning. That's up in Ohio, so just manage that down here, and I train a few people on the side too.
Mm-hmm. So MI40, just for the sake of the viewers, even though they're probably aware of the gym, it's one of those it's where the gyms where Kamalo Gargny, Derek Lunsford, Rachel Daniels, Ben Pekulski. It's a very popular gym, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very. It's a catered to bodybuilders, so it's so much equipment. A great atmosphere. It's made this prep, no prep's easy, but it made it go very smooth training there.
Good. So how old are you now, mate?
27.
27?
Yep.
Oh my God, you're in a very good position to start your pro career, mate.
I'm excited, and I'm very thankful to have Pat as my coach too, guiding me, down the right path.
So what was the biggest changes Patrick implemented to pro? Because I know he takes care of his SST training, diet. I mean, I know Patrick, I've known him for many, many years. He's prepped a lot of friends of mine. So what was the biggest implements that brought about the most improvements from Patrick for your physique? And what did you learn?
I mean, there's so much to name.
Yeah.
I would just say he's very detailed. There was no questioning. The plan he sent was very detailed. He explained it very thoroughly. He explained why he does things the way he does. So, me and him were just on the same page. And if we were getting to the detail with diet, he kind of, at first we lowered protein from what I was used to, just because I was telling him I had stomach issues with digestion and all that. So protein went down. I think carbs went down. I think initially, he was just getting a feel on how my body was responding. From there, he was very detailed. I noticed with Pat, he'll ask me questions and get my feedback, and then make his decisions based on that.
So how's the prep been for your incoming pro debut?
It's been good. I mean, no prep's easy, but it's been a very good prep. You know, no injuries.
Good.
Digestion's on point. Energy's a little low right now just because we're so close to the show and body fat's lower. But yeah, I feel like we had a very productive prep. I'm only 8 pounds down from what we started. I started at 253 and now we're 245 roughly in the morning.
So you've been gaining muscle. You've been gaining muscle.
Yeah, it really improved body composition and all that. Like, Pat wasn't really focused on a number of the scales, just more so just how we're looking, you know.
Yeah. So sorry, go on.
He does do carb cycling too, which is the first time I've ever done that in prep. And that made it a lot better too because it allowed my training output to be more efficient. You know, if you go low carb for weeks on end, you know, you're starting to lose strength. But he would implement at like these refeed days close to 700 grams of carbs.
Nice.
And my body would just soak it up, you know, just burn through it. And I just felt really good. So
it's funny because I remember when I was my training partner, who's a top 70 kilo guy, and he was one of the first that I knew of at that time, about 20 years ago, that really taught me about carb cycling. Because when I would get ready for a show, I suited very, very low carb and like kind of high fats for energy, suited that very well. I didn't have the confidence to carb cycle because I wanted more control. You know, I just thought, how can I monitor if I'm taking different amounts of carbs every single day? But I suppose that's where a coach comes in handy because they can see the changes that you might not.
Yep, exactly. He noticed if I was getting flat or if my weight would dip below like 243, 242, then he would implement like either a refeed day or a high carb day, and it just allows your training to be a lot more efficient. So my workouts have been great, my pumps have been great. So yeah, I think we'll definitely keep carb cycling, you know, in the next preps in the future.
Good. So how you feel? Because you've gone into a pretty big show there as a pro debut. How are you feeling confidence wise?
I feel very confident. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to beat your last look. You can't control who shows up or, you know, who's going to be on, who's going to be off. I feel very confident. I thought there would be more bigger names in New York Pro. I'm surprised there's not. But yeah, I feel very confident, especially first pro debut. So it's not really, you know, I don't know what to expect. I have nothing to base it on really.
The reason your physique caught my eye is because you've got a really good amount of size, you've got very good separation, but you're also very aesthetic. And I think, given what's happened with guys like Andrew Jacked and Samson, I think the big guys with aesthetics are the ones like, you know, like Sean Roden when he started that kind of, not a trend, but I think I actually think that's the way bodybuilding, open bodybuilding, especially with classic coming along and being so popular. I honestly think that's the way it's going. That's why I think you're going to do well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, they like that aesthetically pleasing look with the size, of course, because it's open bodybuilding. So I think there's a fine balance you have to have both.
Yeah. And obviously, guys like Theo Legedia did really well last year. I mean, he's a big guy with aesthetics as well, you know, and he did well at the New York Pro.
Yeah.
So any more shows other than the New York Pro, or are you just concentrating on that one event?
I spoke to Pat about possibly doing the Cali Pro, but it's a week after, so he said that's kind of soon. But we're kind of just going to go to New York and see how that goes. And then maybe Toronto Pros 2 weeks after, but I don't have a passport right now, but I know I can get one expedited, but we'll see how all that goes.
Oh, you don't have... My passport literally came this week. I had to cancel a trip to Sweden and Amsterdam because my passport didn't come in time.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely gutted.
Yeah, so it's up in the air with the future. But I think definitely, I want to talk to him because I'd like to do Cali, but, you know, he knows best, so I'll see what he says. Thing
is, with a pro debut, you literally, as it's your first pro show in a completely different arena, I think maybe you just want to just focus on one show rather than saying, right, it's my pro debut year, my rookie year, I want to do 6 shows in a row. Right, yeah. We're really just focusing on New York. And then once that's over with, we'll probably make a decision probably the next day, Sunday. Come over and do some European shows. A good show in Spain, mate, in August.
want to.
Yeah.
I spoke to Pat last year, and he was like, for a first pro show, he's like, I don't want you flying across the ocean, because there's so many different factors with peaking and all that, and a long travel. So I'll stay here in the United States for the first one, but I'd like to come out there, Europe, maybe like like out in Italy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to nearly all those European shows. I mean, I had Nathan Diasher on last week, and he said, I don't even want to compete in America. He said, apart from the Olympia, he says, because the shows in Europe are so good and so well produced.
Really?
I do the live stream commentary at Romania, the Spain shows, Prague, and I'm telling you, mate, those shows, plus if you can get the experience of traveling, because you're a pro now, and you at some point you are going to have to travel, so you may as well throw in a show and get that experience, because traveling and competing is different to just competing in your own country. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Even like when I did the Mr. USA out in Phoenix, that was like a 4-hour flight, and it throws you off. So I couldn't imagine going, having layovers and all that. I'm sure it'd be stressful with having the food with you and all that.
I mean, back in the 90s, they had the Grand Prix tours. And I remember Ronnie Coleman, what did he say? 7 shows in 11 days, different countries. That is, and he said that's like a completely different pursuit other than competitive bodybuilding, because it's so, it's like a different sport altogether, traveling and competing multiple times. It's hard, but it's a good, it's a good thing to learn and drop yourself in the deep end with.
Because you got that, your cortisol raises, and then you're going to hold your body hold water and all that.
There you go.
So, and to peak properly with all that travel, it's tough.
Yeah.
But I would definitely like to do one at some point.
Yeah. So given that you're a relatively new pro, have you been to many pro shows? Because sometimes I speak to pros and they'll be like, oh, the only ones I've been in are the ones I've competed in.
The only one I went to was the Arnold Classic in 2016. It was a year, I think it was 2016. It was the year Kai Green won.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the last one he did.
Yeah. That was the only pro show I've been to.
Wow, that's crazy. I find that so, it's crazy, isn't it? Because these bodybuilders come up so quick, So what drew you to bodybuilding, man? That's a very general question, but what drew you to bodybuilding initially?
My older brother brought me into the gym like when I was like 15, and I started training, making friends with people at the gym, and I grew really fast, and I wasn't even training the right way. Like looking back, I was just going through like doing bench press 3 or 4 times a week and bicep curls. But my older brother brought me into the gym, and then I was training at Powerhouse in Canton, my local gym that I've been training at when I lived up in Ohio. And they had a poster there for the first show, and it had a teenage division, 16 to 19. So I saw that, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. I didn't really know anything about bodybuilding. I thought it was like the biggest person, the biggest guy win.
Yeah.
Because I was big for a 19-year-old. And I did the show, and I wasn't conditioned like I should have been. I weighed in at like 187 pounds at my first show, but kind of softer. But I placed 3rd in the teen class out of like 10 or 11 guys.
All right.
But and then after that, I made a few friends at the show, and I did teen nationals 3 months later, and that was my second show, and that's kind of what got me in. I was better conditioned for that show, and that's kind of after that was just I made buddies with the guy who was coaching me, and we're still like best friends today. And he kind of just showed me the way, and ever since there, just off season, through summer, fall, and winter, and then we'd prep in the spring, and that was like literally for the next 6-7 years.
That you're talking about competing at 19, and I'm thinking that's only 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like you think, oh yeah, it's decades ago, but like you're 27, man. It's just it's such a generation, a new breed of Rafael Brandao. I mean, Derek Lunsford's 30 today.
Wow.
I mean, he's been around. How long? He's been around since 2017. There's such an influx of really good bodybuilders in their 20s. People like yourself coming along that really have a lot of promise.
Yeah, definitely.
So were you, what did you think when you heard that Carlos Thomas Jr. had pulled out the New York Pro?
I was surprised because that was going to be his pro debut too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I was looking forward to, there's a few different pro debut going on there, but yeah, it was. I didn't really see any updates of him leading up to the show.
He was off social media, mate. He pulled himself off.
Yeah. So I hope he's doing better. I think it was ulcerative colitis or something like that.
Well, we've got him on in about 2 hours, so I'm going to ask him.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to find out because I really like Carlos and we were really excited for his pro debut, But the thing is, the New York Pro is actually it's kind of a good show to do a pro debut because if you look good and you do well, that's going to give you more exposure than probably doing 4 or 5 other shows around the world,
Right, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I forget what I was going to say.
So, MI40, mate. Given that, like I said, you got guys like Kamal and Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford, have you interacted with them? Have you spoke to them? You trained with any of them?
I haven't trained with any of them yet, but I talk to Derek a good amount when I see him in there, and Kamal too. Both really nice guys.
And one's double the age of the other one.
Yeah. Kamal looks amazing for his age. It's crazy.
Well, I've known Kamal since, I think, 1999, trained with him in 2001. I've traveled with him to around Europe and stuff, on the competing circuit and everything. And can you believe his first show was in 1994?
Oh, really?
Hang on.
I didn't know that.
What year were you born?
95.
So he was competing and covered went before you were even born, mate. How's that for perspective?
That's crazy. 94. Wow.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. And he was winning back then,
Yeah. I feel like he's always been peeled ever since he's started.
So
always coming.
So who do you like watching train, and who are you sort of paying attention to mostly in that gym? Who's the one who catches your eye the most?
I would say probably Derek.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. Very together very well. It's a very aesthetically pleasing look.
Do you look at his training style and everything?
A little bit. I've watched his YouTube videos of training. But yeah, when he's in there, I'll just see how he does things and all that.
Good. So I think once you do your pro debut, I think it'd be cool if you could maybe do some collaborations with some of these guys, because someone like Derek could probably happily do a collaboration because he probably wants to see, because he's a good guy. And I've seen like Kamal and, Kamal and Phil Clayhar, Phil told Phil to do the same show that he was doing in Romania, the Masters Olympia, because he just wanted to see him do it, So it's sometimes there's a real value and, and good for your kind of exposure,
Right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'd like to do some training with them at some point.
Good. So Patrick takes care of your prep, but does anyone take care of your training, or is that Patrick as well?
Patrick will do training as well. He'll tell me like, say like for Monday, 5 exercises chest, 4 exercises triceps, and then tell me one set to be a drop set and aim for 10 to 12 reps here. But he'll kind of let me pick which exercises I do. He'll just give me a number on how many different exercises to do and how many sets to do and all that. And tell me to focus on peak contraction. Like for this week here leading up to the show, he told me don't train to failure. We're going to go in and, just go in and get a pump, still train, with a good amount of weight, but we don't want to tear apart the muscle too much. We just want to get the nutrients in there.
Have you actually met him yet?
No, I haven't.
It's like I was talking to Milos the other week, and he was talking about Beruz Tibani, who won the Honor Brazil and the Romania show. And because I've seen Beruz twice at Romania, and Milos, sometimes when I'm at these shows that that Beruz is at, he'll ask me for feedback on his athlete, because he said, I've not actually met the guy, and I've been working with him for 2 or 3 years,
Yeah, I know. It's funny. It's crazy how we can just communicate.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Now. Yeah, through FaceTime and all that. Send him pictures. Yeah, it's been a year, but I'm sure eventually, if I ever compete out there, he comes here. We'll do some training together.
Definitely. So your pro debut, mate. I mean, that's a huge step. Are you nervous, excited?
I'm excited. Yeah, really excited. as everything starts coming together, I'm getting more and more excited. At first, beginning like 16 weeks out, 14 weeks out, I was a little nervous because, but now I can see my body and have, confidence. Everything's coming together well and everything's clicking and my weight's holding up. I'm still 243, 244.
Wait.
So I'm really excited to get up there.
How tall are you, mate?
5'8".
5'8" and you're 240?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I'm bad at taking pictures on
No, honestly, I really like your physique. I mean, we brought you up in last week's episode. I'll send you the link. And we were looking at it, and I said, "Come on, Derek, give me your take and everything." And like from the side, you'd get nice. I think your shoulder to waist I think that's your main. That was the main thing that stood out to me. You got big, real, not filled delts, if you know what I mean. There's no Haddyism going on there, and you got a nice tight waist, nice small midsection, good sweep on your quad, good condition. You could step on. I mean, the update I saw was probably 2 or 3 weeks out. You wouldn't have disgraced yourself stepping on stage looking like that. And I know Patrick will bring you in absolutely bang on.
That's why I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
I think it was good too. We got ready a little ahead of time because it just allowed us to kind of just, implement more refeed days and just take the stress off too, I don't know, I'm very confident rolling into it. Now it's just, waiting to head up to New York and relax and get a tan and get up there.
You seem very relaxed and composed, which is nice to see from a competitor 1 week out. I mean, sometimes you get that 1,000-yard stare of either that or complete panic a week out, or their guys are just looking like they're about to drop dead. But you look focused, you look good, and I've seen how your physique's looking, mate. You're looking terrific.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, before I let you go, any sponsors or any thank yous you'd like to give?
No sponsors or anything like that.
You will.
Just,
you will.
There's a few reaching out, and I'll get Pat's feedback on that too. I have questions and all that, but yeah, I'm holding off until after the show and just kind of weighing out my options. Good. Yeah.
So really, what are you hoping for next week? What is your goal that you want to see happen?
I would say make the first call out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you want to win, but
of course.
First call out is my goal.
I mean, we're doing the preview. Myself and Ron Harris are doing the live preview for the New York Pro on Tuesday, and I've already got it in my head. I think looking at the lineup and know the names and seeing how your physique and trying to assess it and measure it in my mind. I think first call out's a very realistic achievement, and that'll be very good for you in a show like the New York Pro, mate.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I think if you do well, I think you should definitely do Toronto. So, and honestly, I know it's a week after, but maybe the Cali.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, I'll message Patrick. I've got his number. I'll text him. I'll say, come on, let him do the bloody Cali Pro. Come on, get some experience.
I could even go straight from New York, to get settled in Cali, right? Right on Monday.
Why not?
Yeah. So I'll talk to Pat about it too.
And if you're making top 3 in the New York Pro, then you'd be silly to throw away that prize money that you probably will earn at the Cali Pro. It's like why let somebody else go and take your dollars?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Ryan, Eric, like I said, I want to get you on because I quite like it when I don't know very much about the athletes, but I can see what I can see. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I did this once with a guy called William Bonac.
Oh, yeah.
And someone at the show went, I heard them over my shoulder shouting, who the F is Giles interviewing? And I was like, no, I think this guy's going to be pretty good, He's got a nice physique and, so it's like, I like to sort of get the guys like yourself on the new guys that, could be, like Derek Lunsford, the way he hit the ground running, straight away the guy was an overnight superstar. I think you're going to do really well, mate. I really do. And you've got a really good coach in your corner, mate. You've got Patrick, I'd love Patrick. He's one of my best friends, So I think you've got every advantage, mate.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right then, mate. And I'm with you on freezing cold Columbus because that is. I was waiting for a cab once at the after the after party, and I tell you what, that was the experience. I thought I was going to die of exposure, hypothermia. So it's like it goes through you. The wind, it goes through you. So, I think you did the right thing moving to Florida, mate.
Yeah, it's been great so far. I love it.
Good. I'm glad. Well, all the best, mate, for New York. We'll be watching the live stream, and I'll be rooting for you, mate. And I'll hopefully get you on again when I get you for your winner interview, whatever show you do, mate.
Yep, for sure. Cool. Glad to be on. Thanks for having me.
All right, then, Eric. Thank you so much, MD Globe Muscle. And
yep, well done. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, next week, 7 days.
7 days.
It's a big step, Eric.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Big step. Pro W, man. I'm excited. Cool. All right, then, mate. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll speak to you very soon.
Hey. All right. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
And joined all the way from, I'm assuming, Limerick Airport, Carlos Philbrick. Woo!
You are indeed. I am currently in the airport, waiting to go home after a successful weekend, or a few days, should I say.
Yeah, so obviously, yeah. I mean, literally last night, I mean, you were where I was last year, but under a different set of circumstances. Yeah. You won your pro card, mate, so congratulations. How do you feel?
I did indeed, thank you. If I'm honest, I haven't sunk in.
Yeah.
It hasn't quite sunk in. You know, I don't really know what to say. It's been emotional, put it that way. I've cried, I've laughed, tried to take it all in, but it's been emotional, to be honest, and I'm just trying to enjoy the moment whilst I can.
So what was the show like, mate? Because, I mean, I went last year. It was fantastically organised. Didn't think much of the MC. But, so what was it like as an experience? What was the competition like?
Yeah, it was really good. It was well ran. The guys backstage were on it. It was well ran for sure. The competition the level throughout the lads was very high. It was a pretty good show, to be honest. I haven't got anything bad to say about it. It was really good. And I actually wanted to do it last year, but I couldn't make it out. So this year, I got there and made it happen.
So you came pretty close, didn't you? Because I know you're in Sweden, but you weren't competing. So what shows have you done this year then?
So I done the Two Bros Regional at the start of the year.
Okay.
I won the overall there, and then we done the Ben Weirder 2 weeks later. Unfortunately, I lost out there, and then I went to Sweden, but it wasn't to compete. It was just to be with the gas guys.
Okay.
Where I spent a lot of time with them and just had a bit of downtime, should we call it? But we're still on prep.
Yeah.
And then come back, and we went into Ireland, and but a lot of people don't know. I actually hurt my leg in Sweden. I got a cramp in the middle of I got a cramp in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. And my leg was contorting up, hopping around the hotel room for an hour on and off in so much pain. Didn't think too much of it. Eventually went, you know what it's like getting a cramp. But it's quite painful from my top of my groin down to my knee, my adductor. So it's a little bit painful. And then the next day it was quite painful. And then I woke up the following day, 2 days later, my whole inside of my hamstring and my leg down to my calf was black and blue.
Oh no!
So then,
2 weeks ago. Hang on. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks out from Ireland.
Shit.
Yeah. So needless to say, my head was a little bit wobbly.
Yeah.
But Ben, Ben Charles, my coach, we were like, just keep going, keep on playing, keep doing what we're doing, it'll be fine. And Ben's been through something like that himself, 4 weeks out from the British, so he knew how I felt. But somehow, as the days went on, the bruising went, the lump in the adductor slowly started going down, and then literally, I don't know, a day or two before Ireland, I was pretty much there, because I had blurring in my quad. Okay. Like a water filmed over my quad. Pretty much two days out from Ireland, my leg come back.
Wow, okay.
So it was touch and go. Yeah.
Did you, obviously, did you tear anything or?
No, mate. It was just, I think the cramp was so severe, it had, I don't know what it sort of just twisted up. I had work on it, massaging and stuff, and eventually sort of released. It was wild. I can't really explain it. I've never had that much damage from
So,
cramp.
so with it cutting it that fine, did you consider like pulling out of Ireland and maybe doing a later show, or?
Well, that was a consideration for me. Sorry, my phone's going off. That was a consideration for me, but we persevered. Consistency and staying on track and staying on plan is always the key.
Good.
We made it happen, and Ben was very confident that it would clear because he's been through it himself. So, yeah, we knew it wasn't something major when I finally had work on it. I knew it wasn't a tear. But it's just crazy that it come together towards the end. Everything just kind of like aligned.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. My body started working, my leg come back together. The peak going into the show, just everything was just clicking real nice. It was a moment.
It makes that victory just that much sweeter, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, because obviously I kept it quiet because I didn't want people to, I didn't want people to think it was an excuse or, I just got on with it basically. But yeah, that's another little sort of like sweet cherry on top to the.
Nice.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, you won. You got your pro card. You won the bodybuilding. You've got this. Your condition obviously wasn't affected from the injury, or whatever it was. This cramp or whatever. So what did you weigh there? What weight were you on stage, mate?
So I weighed in the day before at 97 kilos. So I think that 213 pounds.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also had to carry on eating for the next. I was eating like every 2 hours. We worked out I ate an extra 1,000 grams of carbs.
What?
My body was just on fire. Yeah. Yeah. And I reckon I must have been another. I reckon I stood on stage around 217 pounds at least. Yeah.
So.
But it was a nice full.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, did you lose me there?
Sorry, no. So, I mean, given that you were like so close to the 212 limit, are you going to be one of these guys that jumps straight into a 212 show, or are you going to take a year or two off? Because obviously that's where you are. If you're one of those guys that turns pro at around that weight, you've got the short decision or the long decision to make. What's yours?
Well, if I'm honest, I'm going into an off season.
Okay.
I know I need a better back and hamstrings to stand with these 212 guys. That's an area I know I need to build up. My chest and shoulders and stuff and my leg we always need more legs. Legs and back are always the one. So ideally I'd like to, develop my back and my hamstrings so I can stand with these guys. So if I'm honest, I'm looking next year to stand on the pro stage for sure.
Next
100%.
year?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open.
I got my last off season. I put on 6 kilos. So when I saw you in Sweden last year.
Yep.
When I competed, I was 92 kilos, and I was 92 kilos there, and I competed yesterday at 97 kilos.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I know I can with a proper off season and pushing food. We can put some muscle on if it needs to be.
Brilliant. So So why did you not jump into Sweden then if you were over there?
I nearly did. I nearly did. But if I'm honest, your mind, you know how it is. Your mind has to be in it. And I went there just to have some downtime and be with the guys. So, I mean, I even took my trunks.
Did you? You would. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could actually go to a show if I'm like, it's 3 weeks between my shows. I don't think I could go over and watch a show. Could you?
No, I'll be struggling.
Yeah. You'd be struggling to stay on your diet, and you'd be struggling to not want to jump on stage.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, the thought did go through my mind, and even MJ, obviously the owner of Gas, was like, "You could do it. You could do it." But no, I enjoyed my time with everyone. I just enjoyed being on prep, and I love bodybuilding, Giles. I absolutely love it. It doesn't matter if I'm watching it, if I'm talking about it. I just love it. It's my passion, it's my love. So to go there and enjoy time with everyone, train with James, train with Keon, be around Branch.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? It's just moments I couldn't let pass. So yeah, I enjoy being in the moment there for sure.
So how did you feel when you woke up this morning, mate, knowing you'd actually done it?
it was another emotional more. I'm an emotional guy. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Good.
And
Good.
I got up this morning and done cardio and just had a little moment to myself, thinking, like, wow. I actually started this journey 5 years ago, so I'm 5 years into bodybuilding, and this is only mine and Ben's second attempt at trying to get pro this year. So obviously the last attempt was 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, and this is our second attempt at getting the pro card.
Yeah.
So we've done well, and I've been coached by Ben for the last 2 years, and since I've jumped on with him, my bodybuilding's gone up a whole nother level. I just want to say, like, you know, he's just amazing. I've got a lot of time for him.
Ben's profile's really gone up in the last couple of years, hasn't it, as a coach?
Yeah, honestly, the guy knows. He's very, very smart. He's very smart, and he cares. He cares big time. The guy didn't sleep for 2 days.
Wow.
Waiting for my check-ins. Like, yeah, you know, because obviously the time difference. He was there, you know, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was his time, and, you know, he was there for me. So, yeah, the guy made that peak good.
Good. So, I mean, I'm just trying to work out your physique in terms of, would classic ever be an option? Because I'm comparing you to, like, say, like a Bumstead or a Wesley Vissers, and are you way over?
The thing is, I mean, I'm 97 kilos now. You know, what would I have to be at 5'7"?
Oh shit, 5'7". Okay, yeah, that's not really.
Yeah. I'm a short guy.
Right. Okay.
I'm even cast for tall. I'm tall for 212 as well, though. Really.
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, there was a couple of 5'8" guys, George Peterson, Zane Watson. They were 5'8", but they, you know, they were anomalies. You know, I think they had helium bones.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, I mean, one day the goal will be to tip over the edge and be an open guy. But yeah.
So how old are you now, mate? How old are you now?
So I'm 29.
Oh,
yeah.
Stay open.
I started bodybuilding properly when I was 24, and this is my 8th ever show.
Oh wow!
8th or 9th ever show.
Bloody hell!
Yeah. I've only done a few shows. Brilliant. So, yeah. You could. I'm a tagpole in the game.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you're under 30, and, you know, it's a question of, like, you know, size. It just take your time, mate. Take your time. You know, rush.
Yeah, well,
you know, 10 years older, maybe I'd say, you know, think about it, but. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I'll turn 30 in July, so I'm not looking forward to that day.
I actually remember my 30th. I went to see X-Men 2, and I went to Nando's in Cambridge, and it was shit.
Oh.
Depressing 30th. I'm like, I'm 30 years old. Wow.
I feel like
don't miss your flight, mate.
I feel like once I get past that 30 point, once I get past that 30 point, I'll be okay. But it's just leaving the 20s, I think.
Yeah. Nice one. So what? Obviously, traveling back by yourself then?
Oh no. So the trip was actually planned to be on my own.
Okay.
And Wednesday last week, my mother, she said, I think I'm going to come with you.
Oh,
I was like, yeah.
That's nice, isn't it?
So,
nice.
Yeah, mate, she's very supportive. She's, you know, been at the last few shows. I could hear her screaming in the crowd. Bless her, on her own.
Nice.
You know, that's my son. Yeah, so me and her, you know, to be honest, to share this moment with her has been pretty cool. You know,
good.
It's family, you know, she brought me into the world. And to achieve this goal with her here is just amazing.
Nice one. And you're an IFBB pro now, mate. So, you know, you're starting from the bottom again now, mate. You've climbed the ladder. Now it's like snakes and ladders. You're back at the bottom again.
I know, right? Overnight, you've gone from a half decent amateur to a shit pro. But yeah, it's wild to hear you say that, mate. Honestly, and I remember last year, you actually saying to me, you'd be a good 212 pro. So a year later.
Was that in the gym? Was that in the gym?
Yeah, we was, yeah. Or was it when we went for a meal? We might have, I can't remember. It was around that time, wasn't it?
I was probably drunk at the meal anyway, so I can't remember. Hang on, you weren't there at the Stinky Fish Challenge, were you?
No, but I was there this year.
Man, it's okay. It's low carb.
No.
It's low carb.
I know. They tried to get me to do it. They said, new members, you got to do it. And I was like, next time, maybe. Next time.
But I'll let you in on a secret.
Yeah.
It tastes okay.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, if you've got something and it's like, you know, your senses are screaming at you, your sense of smell is saying, do not, like, Like the idea of them putting it in your mouth. I put it in my mouth and I was like, oh, actually, it's not bad. But you've got it. It's that fear from having it in front of you to putting it to your mouth. It's like that's it's like a bungee jump. The worst bit is the stepping off, isn't it? You know. It's true.
Well, yeah, you could say that. Yeah, because they cracked they cracked it open.
Oh God!
It was in the conservatory area.
Oh.
As soon as they pulled the top off, the smell of that fish was rife.
Yeah.
Fair play, James and everyone done it. Fair play to them.
I mean, it's literally rotting fish. So I mean, I can't imagine anything being worse than that.
It literally is, yeah.
Yeah. So.
It literally is.
Cool, mate. I wanted to get you on just for a quick winner interview because obviously I like that you're British and you're new pro and everything, and I knew what this would mean to you, and obviously I want to support Brian with his event because I was hoping to be there this week, but it was Lauren's birthday and I had passport issues, which meant because that's why I wasn't in Sweden, mate.
Yeah, I did, because I messaged you, didn't I? And I said you come in.
Yeah,
that'd been cool. Yeah.
I paid 100 quid extra to get a 1 week passport, and after 2 weeks I still didn't get it. So I reported them to the fraud department for false advertising, but I got it this week. It just came in, a couple of days ago. So, but I'm back traveling now, mate. So they can't restrain me anymore.
You come back to being a jet setter.
Yeah. Back to the private jet, So
nice. Yeah, no, I really appreciate you. I hope you can hear me with this.
I can hear. It's just fine.
I really appreciate you, reaching out to me to be on here. It's just mad that people care, just care. It's just, and saying such nice things. And I just appreciate everyone that said nice comments. And yesterday, everyone just said, that's so well deserved. You earned it, blah, blah, blah. And it's very, very humbling for me to hear. And I just want to say thanks to everyone, really.
Good. Well, it's one of those kind of like milestones in your life, a big achievement, and especially when you had the injury and it could have, you could have backed out and no one would have blamed you, but you went ahead and you did it anyway. You had your mum there and everything, and it sounded like a really, really good experience and really kind of a nice, I mean, after only bodybuilding 5 years, mate. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. There's been some hard times. We've all had a hard journey, but we've achieved the goal that we wanted to do. So on to the next one.
How was the MC at the show? Was he any better than last year's?
He was all right. Yeah, he was good.
Hang on. Did he last longer than 20 minutes?
He did, but they couldn't pronounce my last name properly.
I'd have got that right.
Yeah, I'll let him off. Yeah.
I rang Brian today because he was just on the plane going back to LA, and I said, "How was the show, mate?" And he says, I was a bit nervous. He says when the MC was up there, but he says, it all went well. I said, "Oh, good," because I'll definitely be there next year. So cool.
Yeah, you're gonna go there next year, are you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, now I've got my passport. I'm gonna be everywhere, mate.
You need to push him to bring back the 212 Pro Show.
Yeah. Well, but thing is, mate, there was only 4 turned up last year. Classic this year, and they get 15 good pros.
Yeah, Classic's growing, mate. It's a lot of people enjoy it. It's a class a lot of people like to see, so I don't blame them. Sure.
Just want to let you go. How did Ryan Cartwright look? I didn't, because I've not really had a chance to look at any pictures yet or videos. How do you look in the Classic?
Mate, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I haven't seen much. I've so focused on myself.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds egotistical, but I was so focused on what I was doing, I wasn't really paying too much attention to others. So I do apologise. I didn't actually see him.
Well, we're filming Hot News now, so I'll pull it up on the Instagram and have a look myself, and and put the work in. But mate, just want to congratulate you on getting your pro card, mate. And it's like I said, I was really, really pleased when I saw that. I was like, yes, because. Really, really happy
honestly,
for you, mate.
Thank you so much, mate. It means a lot, honestly. It really does.
All right, then, mate. And don't miss your flight.
No, hopefully not.
All right, then, mate. Well, with Derek, we'll say goodbye, mate. And like I said, all the best for your pro debut, whenever that may be, mate.
Hopefully we speak again after a win, maybe.
Yeah. Well, yep. That's the deal with Globe Muscle, mate. So cool.
Wicked, mate. Take care, yeah.
All right, take it easy, mate.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
All the way from, I think it's Florida, Carlos Torres Jr.
Hey!
I wish I was in Florida, but I'm in Wilmington, Delaware, which is right outside of Philadelphia. So, it's okay.
I do apologize.
I
think because I had EST in my head, and I always assume everyone's from Florida or New York if they're EST, you know?
Close to New York, though, about 2 hours away.
Right, okay then, mate. Carlos, mate, we were so excited about your pro debut, and then a few days ago, I think we were doing a live for MD, and we actually came through on our phone. We were all really shocked, mate. What happened? Take us through it, please.
Yeah, so it's just I've been dealing with some issues with my ulcerative colitis, and I mean I've kind of mentioned it throughout a few other interviews how I was diagnosed with it in 2021, and I've been having on and off issues throughout the years, but I've been able to manage it pretty well. But it just got to the point where it was affecting the way my body was absorbing food, and it just didn't. Everything just wasn't clicking the way it should have, the way I know it can. And rather than, fight through it and, try to make things worse, because the one thing that doesn't make it worse is stress.
Yeah.
And we all know that prep and the depths of prep, there is a lot of stress physically and mentally. So, we decided to just kind of pull the plug on it and not come and not attend, not attend, but to not do the show. I went to go see Big Steve Weinberger in person, spoke to him, just wanted to let him know, like, hey, like I really wanted to do this show, but I don't want to do it if I'm not the best I know I can be. So we're on a good treatment plan now. I'm working with for my health management. I'm working with Dom Mastasio. He's Dom Super Slice on Instagram. We're gonna go through an array of tests on my gut, a GI map, just to make sure everything looks good over there. Get a lot of blood work done. And just get on a good protocol to make sure that my gut health is right and that I can, manage the colitis as well as do bodybuilding.
So how do you feel in yourself, though?
I'm sorry?
How do you feel in yourself generally, physically and mentally?
Good. I mean, I'm in a good spot right now. Body's starting to respond. So things are kind of coming back to life, if that makes sense. Like, there was a lot of my body just didn't look fresh. It looked very it wasn't like nothing was happening. No matter what we did, no matter how much food we pulled or cardio or pulled cardio or added food, things just wasn't happening the way we needed to. And if anyone's familiar with colitis, it can put a lot of stress on you because your gut just isn't feeling well. Food is quite passing through you a lot. Like you don't really hold. Like for me, there's different types, but for me, food things just pass through me quickly to the point where it's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight. You can start to kind of lose a lot of blood because it passes through you, through your stools. It's tough to deal with and to manage. But I think we're on a good path now and things are getting better.
So at what point did you feel like, okay, I'm going to have to pull the plug here? Because I know you announced it, but when was it kind of in your head that you were going to have to say, okay, I'm going to have to at least pull out of this show for now?
I'd have to say it was probably end of April, beginning of May. I tried to push for as long as I could. So I would say maybe around 3 weeks out. Things were just not as, they just weren't they weren't what I wanted out of my body, and I'm pretty much a trooper. I'll push through anything. But I spoke to those closest in my corner and we just decided that it was, best to kind of shut it down, regroup, and then, look for something ahead once, things are back to tip top shape.
So, I mean, obviously now, have you come off prep?
Yeah, so we've done a bit of like a, kind of like a rebound, reverse diet, whatever you want to call it. And,
now it's just kind of about, like I said, bringing the body back to life, working with foods that don't affect my gut too much, and, working with my GI doctor as well. He increased my medicine. I'm on a medicine called mesalamine. It's a generic name for Lialda. So I'm on that. And like I said, I'm working with Dom Super Slice. We're going to get a GI map done, and we're really going to work on some supplementation that can also help keep things calm while when I do enter a prep.
Good. I mean, you're always quite a reserved person anyway, but I mean, are you okay having to come off this prep? Because obviously, I mean, you put, as an athlete, as a bodybuilder, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and there's a lot of, people excited about you wanting to compete. I mean, in yourself, are you okay about this? I mean, or is it you just seen it as a one step back and to go two steps forward?
I think now I'm kind of hitting that point where the latter is, where I feel as if it's, one step back and two steps forward. But I have to tell you, coming to the decision, and then, days after, obviously I'd announced it, after I decided, maybe like a week or two after I decided that I was done. Yeah. That's just because I kind of needed to I had to kind of make sure everything was right within myself mentally, and kind of come to terms with kind of accepting that, because this show means a lot to me. It's one that is the first pro show I attended, with my father.
Okay.
I've gone to it every year since 2015, except for 2020 where they had it in Tampa. That year I didn't go, but it's a show that means a lot to me, because it's almost hometown, right? Because like I said, I'm only 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away from where the venue's located.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it meant a lot to me, because it was one that my family was going to plan. Everyone was planning to come to. I had a lot of friends, family, and everything. And yeah, it definitely took a toll on me mentally to accept the fact that, hey, we're not going to do it. But, after going to go see Steve at Bev's gym, speaking with him, and, he gave me some good words like, hey, it's just when you do your pro debut, you want it to be one where you're at your best.
Yeah.
And, the stage will be there. So, it was really good to be able to speak with him, and to know that, he is he's, I wouldn't say accepting of it, but he understands, he very much understands. So that was great. So it just took a bit of time to kind of come to that understanding for myself and say, hey, it's okay. We're just going to go ahead and see this as a period where we, learn from it. And later on down the road, if anything else like this occurs, we know how to tackle it. So like I said, I'm working with a good group of people, Dom Super Slice, and I think when it comes to health within bodybuilding, he is one of the top guys out there that I feel. So whenever I have any concerns or questions, he's definitely somebody that I've always leaned on since I entered the sport of bodybuilding. And I think that, him being in my corner, along with, I have a great doctor. I think, I know that I have a great doctor with me, and, there's the overwhelming, especially seeing from the post, the overwhelming, support that I got from everyone, people reaching out to me saying, hey, if you need anything, I know some specialists. Hey, I dealt with it myself. You being able to compete at a high level is very inspiring to me, even though you have UC. There was a lot of just general understanding that, it's okay. And that the stage will always be there. And that really warms my heart, to be honest, because it was, I love doing this, Yeah. And to not be able to get up on that stage, with my friends, and, because I all the guys up there I know, and I know personally, and it would have been, and there's a lot of it's a lot of young guys too, and it would have been a great experience. So it's still kind of hits me a bit and talk about it.
Yeah,
but,
no, I understand. It's a big thing, mate.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
But like I said, to see the overwhelming support from everyone reaching out to me and the understanding and actually hearing other people's story of how they dealt with it or how they got over it was really helped me out. It really helped me out.
But you know what? Aside from the smart health decision, it's your pro debut. And I know that I probably won't want to hear this, but people like Ron Harris were saying, I think he can win. So obviously there's all that hype and expectation and excitement and people looking forward to seeing you compete. But at the end of the day, mate, you only get one chance to make a first impression. And you're still, how old are you now? 30. So for you to sort of take, I don't know, however long to make your pro debut, you only get one chance to make that pro debut. So you may as well take that tough decision, do the right thing for your health. And the thing is, what sort of message would you be sending out if you did go ahead and do it and then, you didn't look your best and you weren't happy and you put your health at risk, given what has happened to so many athletes that maybe had underlying health issues and didn't address it? What sort of message would you be sending out as an athlete to the industry?
100%. And I agree. And, that's why, I surround myself with just wonderful people and that they are understanding of, the decisions that I make, and we always put health first. And, especially like you said, the message that I would put out to people, hey, like you want to be rough and tough, you want to be hardcore, you want to push through the little niggles and bumps and bruises. But there does come a time like when things can become an overall detriment to the longevity of, your health and well-being. So, it does take, a bit of wisdom to look towards the future and say, hey, we sacrifice right now, but, down the road, this can just be a stepping stone to, hey, okay, now we know what to do. We've learned from it. So if this comes up again, we know how to treat it. We know how to work with it. And then I can also tell my story down the road to other people, that do struggle with it, that reached out to me and say, hey, like, man, I have it too. And I can tell them, hey, like, well, this is what I did to kind of work around it. And, in a sport like this, I think the camaraderie is what drives me, the people that I meet, the relationships that I make. So being able to keep a positive mindset and send a positive message out there about, hey, like, it's okay. Like if you do struggle with this bit of injury or this bit of niggle or this health condition, but you got to be smart about it. And you have to, understand that, the stage will always be there. And that's something that's been reiterated to me around, this whole thing. Is like, hey, the stage will always be there. And then someone reminded me, they said, man, you took 4 years off. Like you were working and getting your master's degree.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like, what's a couple more months or what's another year or whatever, it's like, hey, but in the grand scheme of things, it'll all work out for the best.
It will. Plus, mate, for you, your body is your tool that you use to basically compete as a bodybuilder. And if it's not healthy and it's not playing ball and you're not treating it right and looking after whatever condition you might have or obstacle, how can you expect to kind of look your best and do your best, So, if you go in and you got 12th and it's like, oh, wow, we kind of expected this guy to come in and smoke this show, So I think you're absolutely the right thing, mate. But the thing is, I think we're in an era now where guys are competing in making pro debuts the next day after they've turned pro, with the new system. So, back in the day, guys took several years off before they actually made their pro debut, And the thing is, it's not like you're turning pro at 40, you turn pro at 28?
Yeah.
So, you got loads of time, mate. Don't worry. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. So I think you've done the right thing, mate. Absolutely done the right thing. But obviously, I feel for you. But if you spoke to like Mike Francois or anybody else with the similar conditions, or
there was a few people that had reached out to me. Felix Norman, on IG. He reached out to me. He said he had just got over a UC flare up where he lost, I think he said about 20 pounds.
Wow.
Or 25 pounds. So, I mean, that's just a testament of like how hard this thing can hit you, or how hard any, kind of gut condition can affect you. Some people have it. And then Xavier from, I think it's Desktop Bodybuilding he reached out to me and he told me about his former partner who suffered from it from UC. And then who else reached out to me? Nick Trigilli reached out to me. He told me, hey, I struggle with it too. Hey, it's a long road, but if you do the right things, you can recover, and just things like that. So I had an overwhelming amount of people reach out to me and just like support and offer a helping hand, I couldn't be more grateful.
Good. I don't want to keep going on about it, but like Chris Bumstead, I mean, he had that serious issue a few years ago, didn't he? Which, and the thing is, when then eventually they do really kind of hit their stride, they've got that, like Samson when he was they've all got a story to tell of something they've overcome. Like Samson when he was in Korea and he lost his job, and then John Meadows died, and all these horrible things happened, and yet they still, the cream still rises to the top. And I think it's maybe something that'll motivate yourself. Do you know what I mean? When you think, God, I've overcome this, and I've had to. It's taken longer than I wanted it to be to make my pro debut, but because thing is, you are really good, and I think a lot of people know how good you will be, So I think that's why we're all like, no. But at the end of the day, you've got to do what's right for you, mate. Because it's look at me with my health issue last year. It's like health is kind of important.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. And that's the way I felt too. I was like, you know what? I really wanted to show people something awesome, and I don't want to. I want to do it right. I want to bring the best that I can be in it. And if it means like, hey, taking a few more months, to kind of sort some things out, then that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I feel renewed. I feel pretty fresh, to be honest with you, moving forward. And like I said, I have a wonderful amount of support from, the community fitness bodybuilding community. And it really shows how much, when something happens to one of our own, people will rally around them. And I think that's a really good message to be put out there.
And it could have been a lot worse, mate, because you could have put the news out and you could have got no response. Imagine that.
Right.
Right. No, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
People are pissed. Like, what are you doing? You should have just toughed it out.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'll tell you what. You have what I've got for a day, mate, and you go through what I go through. If there's no response, you'd have been pretty devastated. But anyway, aside from that, mate, I mean, obviously, there's been so much talk around you since you won the Nationals the end of 2021. Yeah. I mean, there's those three guys. It was you, Justin Shire, Nate Spear. It's like it's. I don't think since the 90s have I heard so much talk around rookie pros that haven't even competed as pros yet, that are getting magazine, big articles in MD, and a lot of people talking about him, mate. So it really is testament to how good people think you will be. Yes, and I'm grateful for that, because I've worked really hard to bring my physique where it's where it can be talked about in the likes of the good up and comers, or the people who are set to make a big splash when they do step on the stage. So I'm really appreciative of all the support that people believe in me. They really believe in my potential, and they believe in me as an athlete. So that means a lot. And then you got the young guys I'm excited to see coming up next week. You got Stu and Nate and Robin out of Canada. He's looking really freaky. Strand. So I'm still going to be in attendance there. Yeah, Robin Strand. I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to show love, and I'm still going to be super hyped and excited to be there, because I love this sport, and I love everything about it. So yeah, but when I do get on that stage, I promise you it'll be the best that I can be, and that's all I can
You know what I mean? That's all I can hope for.
I always say, I think some things are meant to be, and you can turn any negative in this industry to a positive, because, I mean, the more time that's from when you turn pro to when you compete as a pro, it just gives you more time to get better. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you'd have been great. You could have won this weekend, but I tell you what, another 6 months or another year or whatever, and especially if you get this issue really under control, you're going to look even more impressive.
Yes, I agree. And that's the thing is, like, if you can't absorb your food and you're not taking in the nutrients properly, then your physique isn't going to flourish the way it needs to.
Yeah.
So that's all about what I'm really focused on now, is making sure that, you know, I'm able to absorb all the food that I'm eating and that my gut health is right. And in turn, that'll just give back to, you know, a fresher physique, you know, bringing up, you know, the body, continuing to bring up the body parts that we set out to bring up, and making a big splash when we do step on there. So if it's a few months from now or if it's next year, we'll see. But I'm excited either way.
I tell you what, I think really now, there's been such a shake-up in the Open Pros in the last couple of years. And I mean, like, the top two, Hadi and Derek, and what Derek did going from 212. I mean, there's a real... There is kind of, the older guys hate this, but like there is a kind of a changing of the guard at the moment. There is, and I think partly because of someone like Nick Walker doing so well, do you know what I mean? Right off the bat, I think it's actually shifted more excitement from the kind of the guys who've been around a few years to like Andrew Jack, the Sampsons, the you know, the Justin Shire. There is a real, I've not seen this kind of excitement around the new guys for quite a lot of years, and with so many guys as well. It's exciting, mate.
It is exciting. And, you know, like when I got on board with this, it was the Kais, the Phils, the Rodens, the Dennis Wolfs, and those were the guys, Dexter, of course, always there. And those were the guys that were just, and the Royley, of course, and those were the guys that were just running the top 5, 6, you know, from, you know, the time that I started in 2000, around 2004, 2015 to, you know, maybe 3 years ago. So it's exciting and fresh to see, like, you know, the top 6 are, you know, guys that are, you know, around my age bracket, like Nick and Derek. And then you got guys who may have came on later in their age, but they're fresh, you know, Samson, Andrew, you know, these guys are really starting to hit their stride, and, you know, it bodes well to see, you know, the physiques that I appreciate, you know, the rounder, bubblier physiques, such as Derek and such as Samson, you know, it's really do well, because I think it gives me confidence that, you know, when I do step on stage, that, you know, the physique that I bring will be very much appreciated. So I'm excited for it, yeah.
And your arms and legs have got even more ridiculous. Derek, seriously, mate. He's got bigger arms than you, Derek. Bigger arms, because Derek's got legit 2021 pythons here, mate. You know, he's... What, you're about 20 now at the moment?
Man.
Yeah, about 20 now.
20 now at the moment, so he's just why he has to sit there, because his arms get so big, they're aching from pressing all the buttons. But I mean, let's talk about like this, like when Stu Sutherland. I mean, the guy hasn't even competed as a pro yet.
Yeah,
and look at the talk that is around guys like that, you know, and like the excitement, and also the disappointment when you said you weren't competing. It was huge, and you haven't even competed as a pro yet, mate. It's crazy. It's great though.
Yeah. It's an awesome time right now in the sport. You know, it's a newness, a fresh, a breath of fresh air that's being breathing life into, you know, this thing that we love. And I think, you know, with the guys like you mentioned, Stu, and the guys, you know, like Justin coming up, it's really, really, really going to bring that younger crowd, you know, into, because, you know, you have guys who have been following the sport already, but you have people who are just getting into it. And these are the faces that they're going to see. And these are the faces that are going to be like, man, that's my favorite bodybuilder. I want to see him, you know, top in the Arnold. I want to see him top in Olympia or winning pro shows. And it's going to bring you know, a really good energy to the next years coming up. And I'm just looking forward to really getting on stage with these guys because I know I could battle with them.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty upset that I can't.
Yeah.
So, but like all things in good time, all things on God's time. So, I'm just going to go ahead and keep working. And, one day I will be on stage with these guys and we're going to have a great time and it's going to be fun.
I'd be very, very excited and very interested to see you in the same show as Justin Shire again.
I know.
That would be cool, man. Because I tell you what, you both are two very big talking points. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I know he's doing Chicago. He's doing Chicago. Yeah. So big shout out to Justin and best of luck to him coming up soon. And I know that that he had a tough off season because we were speaking at the Olympia and he had a little bit of digestive issues too, and I think he figured them out, and he's doing better. So that's good to see that he's cranking on, and I really have a good feeling about him in the Chicago Pro that he's going to bring really something improved and special. Even from the slight bit of updates that he put out there, he's going to bring something good.
So quickly over this digestive thing, I hear this with a lot of bodybuilders, and obviously gut health is very important. What would you say, in your opinion, with your own your own instance, and also other athletes that you've spoke to and about? What do you think the main cause is? Do you think it's what reason?
I mean, outside of like my personal issue of the colitis, I think a lot of it is like it's the repetitiveness of the food sometimes. Like, I know for me, it started with egg whites. Like, man, I can't eat egg whites anymore. And they made me bloated. Oh, God. When in the past I was fine. And then it moved on to certain like vegetables and things like that. So I really think it could be just developing slight intolerances, because you're not supposed to be, bloaty and burpy and having acid reflux and gassy all the time. These are things that, I guess people become accustomed to because they're like, well, I'm just getting big and I'm eating a ton of food and this is what happens. I'm like, not all the time. It's not really supposed to be like that. So I think that could be a part of the issue. So I think if it's brought to the forefront that, hey, like the better you can absorb your food, the better your physique will look. Like, instead of just trying to pound more food, let's focus on how much food you can actually absorb and getting the best out of and getting the most out of that. So that's what I feel personally could be happening is, possibly like these slight intolerances are being developed and just from like overeating same protein, same carbs, vegetables. So I think it would be good. And this is what I'm learning by myself, cycling in, certain things, especially in the off season. People tend to stay away from whitefish. But one thing that I'm doing now is I'm mostly eating whitefish and it digests well and I don't have any issues out of it. Where in the off season, I was eating a lot of chicken. And at some point it started to not digest well, even though in the beginning it was okay. So I think that, rotating around your protein sources and the carbs and fats and everything else too, could help stave off some of these, possible slight intolerances that people may be building. Speaking for myself mostly, but that could be also what's happening.
I think my instincts are telling me that maybe bodybuilders maybe focus too much on quantity rather than quality. I think that applies to other aspects of bodybuilding, like supplementation, the chemical side. And I think that's something that like I remember speaking to Jay Cutler about diet, and he said one of the best decisions he ever made was he spent like $1,000 a week on food. And I said, how could he said, and he said, no, it wasn't buying more food, it was buying better quality food. Things like organic and making sure, with the barcodes on it to trace where it's come from and it's not chemically treated with certain things. And he said that was one of the best things that he ever did. And he said he really thinks it saved a big element of his health by focusing on the source and the quality of the actual types of foods he was eating.
Exactly. And it may, end up like he said, costing a bit more in the back end, but and on the front end, but on the back end, it'll really help you out. I noticed for myself, this is when I was kind of first starting out, I was like eating some farm raised salmon. And then all of a sudden, every time I ate it, my stomach would be upset. and then I switched to wild caught, and I felt much better.
Yeah.
Right. So like, it's like these like certain things that, hey, like it may be like $5 more, but are you going to tough through like a achy stomach and bloated and your digestion is not feeling well? Or, you know what I mean, can you just kind of opt for maybe a bit of a higher quality source of protein or whatever, and, you know what I mean, it digests easier, and you know, you feel good on the inside. So I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, like even things like just basic stuff like switching to organic, just little changes you can make, you know, to kind of, you know, rather than just, because I think with bodybuilders, it's all about numbers, and, you know, I think maybe they get a bit more smarter and more educated about this kind of thing. So, right, Carlos, we've got another segment coming up very soon. So I know we had a bit of a problems with getting you on, mate. So I just want to to be honest, mate, I wanted to make sure you're okay. I did. I was like, oh no, because my first instinct is like, because you read the comments and some people can be so horrible. It's like, he's this. It's like, no, guys, come on. You know, this is. I always instantly think about, oh my God, that's going to be I hope he's okay, you know, because that's, the expectation and how you're feeling and stuff is like, that was the first thing that popped into my head, mate. So I'm glad to hear that you're kind of, you're okay about it. And, you know, how's your dad as well? How's he doing?
He's good. Everyone's good on the side. You know, he is, you know, as always, totally supportive as far as everything. And everybody's understanding, you know. So it was a little bit of a switch up because we wanted to have the family come in from you know, the surrounding area. But there will be another New York Pro to do, and I will be there.
I'm sure there's more pro shows on the calendar to do, mate. Don't worry. I'm sure there's one or two there.
Sure.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then, Derek, anything you want to quickly ask? Come from Mike.
No, I'm just glad to hear that you're sorting out your health, because your health is number one.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Competing and everything is secondary. First, your health, but at least you're taking care of that. So I'm glad for you. I'm looking forward to see you when you make your debut anyway. So, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, he's got bigger arms than you, Derek.
Yeah, I know. We'll be competing.
Yeah. Right. All right, then, Carlos. Well, like I said, I'm glad to hear that you're okay about everything physically, mentally, and you got a good mindset about this. And like I said, just take your time, mate. You're 30 years old. You got no rush, and just look after yourself, mate. And we all know you're gonna completely smash your pro debut anyway. So it's irrelevant. It's not a matter of if, it's when.
It's when. That's it.
Thank you, Charles. I really appreciate that. And D, I appreciate you back there too, big dog.
Yo, cheers, my man.
All right, then, Carlos, thank you so much, as always, for coming MD Global Muscle, mate. And hopefully bump into you at the Olympia if I'm out there, mate. Sir. I'm sure I will be.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Take care, Carlos.
Take care.
Thank you so much, mate. Okay, guys, and we are here on for Season 5, Episode 31 of MD Global Muscle Hot News. And, of course, I'm joined again by my main man, Derek Clark.
Yo! In the house.
Derek, I said we had to bring the energy, mate, but, you know, as always, Derek Clark, Big D in the house, delivered. So, because we are running on fumes, I'm not lying.
We are today. We've had some good episodes.
And I tell you what, I'm happy that you actually got your mic turned up properly, because we put it in the wrong port, and he's supposed to be the sound guy. I'm not snitching.
Well, we fixed it now. We can hear me loud and clear.
Derek, you sound like the voices in my head, actually. Kill 10 people. Right, Derek. We went a bit crazy this one, didn't we? We weren't satisfied with 2 guests. We went for three last week, so we pushed the boat out and went for 4.
We've doubled up. Doubled up, and we've got 4 now. 4 super guests. So it should be good. Double
trouble. And I deliberately didn't show you any pictures of the guys we interviewed, because I want to get your reaction.
Yep.
Because like Ronnie Coleman with his reaction videos now, they're getting very popular.
Right.
You know, they get like someone deadlifting like 1,200 pounds or something, and you get Ronnie's reaction. Yeah. It's like, lightweight, it's lightweight, baby. So anyway, and we've got to rush through, because like I said, it's been such a long episode. So I'm going to try and condense the hot news into this one, but still, obviously, we've got to keep the quality of opinion and conjecture high as ever. Right, I'm going to quickly go to our first guest. That's who we interviewed today, with Michael Daboul, 2-time winner of the Arnold UK. he won the Dubai Pro. He was 10th in the Classic Olympia out of 59 competitors. Because like I said to him, you know, top 10 in Olympia is great, but not top 10 in the biggest class that's ever been in any Olympia ever.
What was it, 59 competitors. That's a strong class. And they all were good.
I think you remember like local shows where if you had 59 competitors across all the divisions, that was a good show.
Exactly.
This was the Olympia, the best of the best.
Yeah.
So Michael Daboul obviously just won the Pittsburgh Pro last night. Well, when we film this, but it'll be Wednesday by the time you watch this. So he hasn't even had time to update his Instagram yet. But this is what I mean by the condition, Derek. Look at that. See what I mean?
Oh, so yeah.
Do you see what?
God, it's dry, isn't it?
And the thing is, Derek, he wasn't that hard in Pittsburgh, but I said to him, and I said, look, you know, Daboul hard is different to other people hard because, like, comparing Pittsburgh to how he looks here, it made Pittsburgh look soft.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I mean? That's why I brought that up in the interview, and I said, but because the last 3 weeks, him and Patrick Tour, his coach, were like, are we going to be able to make it? Because thing is, he set the bar so high for his conditioning.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but I mean, he was fuller. I think is actually, to be honest, I'll be straight with you. I haven't seen that many pictures yet because I've been busy and doing other things. Because the show was last night, and obviously we got guests here and stuff at the house. So I haven't had a very proper chance to look at the Pittsburgh pictures yet. So they'll be coming out over the next few days. So, but I can't imagine that he would have even duplicated this condition. But hang on, look at this. Look. Wow. So he's, what would you say? Okay, then, what do you think what would you say, estimate he weighs, Derek, with your expert opinion? Click it yourself.
How tall is he again?
Click it yourself, please. I can't remember. I think he's about 5. I don't know. I'd be guessing. He's not short. As you can see by his leg length and everything. Oh, we've got picture on yourself, Derek. What would you say? Yeah, you can see. I think you can see. He's not dense. He's more wide than dense, isn't he?
He is. He's I wouldn't say he's super thick, but his conditioning.
Sick,
Can't fault his conditioning. His conditioning is spot on.
Crazy, isn't it?
That's crazy conditioning, yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
I mean, honestly, the thing is, these are stage pictures where sometimes, like if you see the backstage shots of him or the hotel room shots, you know, I mean, they look even more crazy. I mean, these look soft compared to some of the photos he posts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's not one of those guys that probably puts a filter on, do you know what I mean? Because he doesn't freaking need to. Do you know what I mean? I mean, look at that. I mean, what do you think? I mean, this guy he's top 10 in the world in Classic. He's won.
Well, you can see why.
So he's won the Arnold UK twice. He's won the Dubai Pro. He's won the Pittsburgh Pro. I think he's won 4 pro shows. So he's going for the New York Pro this weekend, and he says he's going to win it. Because the thing is, he did say he's pretty much going up against the same guys because he's seen the lineup.
That's right.
So I mean, he'd have to be very unlucky to lose the New York Pro next week.
Well, if he keeps coming in condition like that, I can't see him.
Look at that.
No.
And he knows how to pose as well.
Yeah.
You know, thing with classic guys, you know, you got to know how to pose like a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've seen crazier pictures than that. You know, I mean, I like the look at the. Do you know what I like? I like it when the inner head
tricep. It's got phenomenal triceps.
Feathered. Look at that, crazy. I love striated triceps. Looks so cool. But I'm sorry, Milos, but I'm a conditioning guy, mate. I'm sorry. You're not going to take condition away from me. It's something sorry, mate. That's a good shot. A good shot. So this was because you were at the Arnold UK, weren't you, last year?
Yes, I was. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Went to see my super friend.
Who? Who's that? Tell me. I'm sorry, you got another friend apart from me. This is not on, Derek.
I've certainly got another friend.
Is your phone ringing?
She won the amateur.
Okay.
Physique.
Okay. And she's your friend. You can't remember her name, Derek. Derek, that's disgraceful.
That's disgraceful. I'm gonna just...
I hope you don't forget my name.
Oh my goodness! I've got to give her a shout out.
Go on then. Go on, Derek. Right. So I mean, look at his quads, look at his calves. So I mean, Michael Daboul is just keeping on winning. He's keeping on improving. And thing is, even to maintain top 10 in the Classic Olympia this year will be tough. Do you know what I mean? So maybe he could maybe he could climb up into that top 6. You know, I mean, he's winning big pro shows. Yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh is a good show to win. You know,
it is. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much the same lineup for the New York Pro. And the thing is, I mean, like Neil Curry, the Brit from Sheffield, he won the New York Pro last year.
All right, yeah.
So that's why he said he wants to keep it in Great Britain. You know, so I'm just making sure we're checking the light, because I think we're gonna lose light very quick. So I'm being very mindful of light today. Actually, I'm getting a bit more energy now, because I was really starting to struggle, because you do 4 interviews in a row on the trot.
It's tough going, isn't it?
I was,
it's tough going,
because you got to concentrate.
Even with coffee.
Yeah, even with coffee. Even with the quadruple espressos. It's not. Do you know what? It's not a common fallacy. It's not espresso. It's espresso.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because people. Yeah. I got corrected in the coffee shop once, and I was like, "No, sir, it's espresso. It's pronounced espresso, not espresso."
Oh, right.
I was like, okay.
Oh, the young lady was called Natalie. She got a pro card.
Yeah.
Pro card. She won that. She looked absolutely fantastic.
Did she?
Yeah, she did.
Oh,
she looked
good.
absolutely great.
So she's pro now?
She's pro now, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to see her pro debut, so we'll have to probably get her on to
get her in?
chat with her.
Yeah. Get her in. Anyway, so Michael Daboul, absolutely fantastic. And like I said, I mean, I just love condition. You know, I mean, I've said that many times. Look at it. You probably, who's this guy?
Whoa, that's...
Who is it?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Derek. He's a superstar. He's bigger than bloody Jesus. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, you're religious.
No, it's not bigger than
Sorry.
Jesus.
So he's not bigger than Jesus. Well, he's probably got bigger arms. Sorry, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. Sorry. Chris Bumstead.
This beard was...
Oh, come on. He's a cool guy. I mean, 25 million followers and only 24.5 million aboard. No, so I'm joking. No. Chris Bumstead, he's a cool dude, man. We like Chris Bumstead.
CB himself.
CB, yep, C-Bum. That's an absolutely awful picture. So, yeah, we love Chris Bumstead. And, Michael's a cool guy as well. We really like him. He's, like I said, I think he's relocating now to Dubai once he rents his house out.
That's right, yeah.
So, rooting for him. But I'm sorry, I know he's Syrian, but he has lived in the UK since, what did he say?
9 years, was it?
Was it since 2011 or since he was 11?
No, it was 2011, something like that.
But, so anyway, congratulations there to Michael Daboul.
Well done.
Yeah, winning the Pittsburgh Pro. I mean, that's a big show. And pretty much, if you were a betting man and you put money on him winning the New York Pro this weekend, it's probably a safe bet. Yeah. So anyway, yes, we're going to rush through these because we want to get to the Toros. And also, guys, if you're watching, you're probably not. If you don't have any of the full chickens in, Derek Clark will riot.
Yeah,
sorry,
definitely.
because your face,
not having wings next time.
Your bottom lip was a foot out in front of your face. And they were like, that guy looked scared. Can you believe that? Derek, he looked scared.
Well, he should be scared.
He looked scared. Ain't getting no plane. Ain't getting my chicken. So anyway, so let's look at one more picture of Michael Daboul, because like I said, we are in a bit of a hurry. And like I said, we've really gone all out for this episode. Also, I did say there was no episode this week, but I didn't make it to Ireland because my passport still didn't come in time, but I do have it now. And also it was Lauren's birthday.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
Yeah, she's in the other room. So, and also her parents are over from South Africa. So obviously I couldn't really fly off and go watch a bodybuilding show, because I probably would have been dinners in the dog and all that. So let's have a look. I tell you what, you can always go hotel room videos. Look at that. I'm sorry, you're never going to get me off condition. I love conditioning. I'm a conditioning snob. Yeah, Milos trying to get rid of conditioning and say it should be less of a criteria. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling that one at all. I'm sorry. Come on.
I think it just makes him look bigger and anywhere.
I mean, look at that guy. I mean, I love seeing all the stripy shoulders and the stripy glutes and all the detail and I mean, he's got a lot of muscle, but because of the condition and the detail and the striations, it just looks so. Oh, it's a bit of a boomerang picture. I hate those things. It just looks so much more impressive. So. I wonder when he's updating. That's not Pittsburgh this year, is it? Oh, this was Pittsburgh last night. Is he already updated? Oh yeah, Patrick Tour, proud of you. Yes, so this was. Oh, hang on, Derek. On the left here we have Michael Daboul from the Olympia, which was last December, and here he is with that fuller look at Pittsburgh last night.
Well, he's definitely fuller.
Do you prefer it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, the conditions probably it's comparable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So.
Oh no, the fuller look looks. Take me after you're coming right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Fuller look, definitely.
The thing is, when you get that ripped, I mean, the trying to get the fullness and avoid the flatness is such a hard, tricky thing. But he said that Patrick really carved him heavy. So that shows you how hard that guy was dieting. Because if he can take a lot of carbs and not spill over. You know, that's impressive.
Keep all the lines and everything.
Yep. Hang on, Derek. I'm just gonna light myself up a bit. Hang on.
All right.
We are losing light by the absolute second. I can see the sun going down. Oh, I've knocked something over already, wrecking the joint. Right, quickly going to go to our other guest. Obviously, big news this week was Carlos Thomas Jr. pulling out of the New York Pro.
Yes.
Sad. Yeah, with
colitis. Colitis. Yes.
Have you ever experienced anything like that?
No, but I think one of my friends had it, and it's not a nice thing. It really isn't a nice thing. So
not good for bodybuilding, mate.
No, not good for bodybuilding. But I mean, it made the right decision for me.
Yeah,
his health comes first.
So here he is at the Nationals in 2021. Derek, he was
that baby.
What is he, about 27, 28 years old there? But look at the arms. Look at the butt muscle bellies.
5'7".
Derek, whose physique does he remind you of? If you were to like look back at some of the not classic guys, but the classic guys in the 80s and 90s. Who would you say that he reminds you of?
To me, he's let me see.
No. You see, he does needs work on his condition, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So he needs to come harder than that. But the thing is, look at the muscle.
But it's got. Yeah, well, this is what I mean. He's carrying a lot of muscles. I mean, God, if he brings his upper body up a bit more to match his legs.
The back. Needs back.
Yeah.
And he's got back, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So what? I mean, imagine. I think I know it sounds like a weird combo. But there's you're a bit of a blend of Bertel Fox and Terry Pastel.
Oh,
do you see it?
Yeah.
Or am I talking total shit here?
No. There's no. They've got no.
The arms. I'm trying to think what the arms remind me of. Lee Priest.
He's got nice arms.
No, not Priest. Yeah, I think his arms are quite unique actually. And I tell you what, you want to see him in the flesh, mate. They're ridiculous. Because he's only like a he's like 5'6", 5'7".
5'7".
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's funny how bodybuilders always catch the hype.
Oh yeah, but these short guys.
Yeah.
See what's going on here. But I like lovely hamstrings.
Yeah. He's a bit of a diamond in the rough, isn't he?
Yeah.
But the potential's there. I don't know whether he could be like a Nick Walker and just hit the ground running and win everything. I'm interested to see how he's improved, because if in a year and a half, look what Samson did in a year and a half.
Yeah, but listen, we're talking about Samson.
Samson's not human.
He's from another dimension. Him.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll come to Mr. Dowder in a minute, because
I've seen some guys improve from year to year, but Samson is on another level.
He's actually more machine than man.
Yeah, exactly. Even his off season, everything.
Yeah,
crazy, man.
But I like it. I think if you look at the overall structure, and like at the density and the size, once this guy gets it, that's his dad. His dad's a lovely guy. I always see him at the shows. They always come over and say hi. He's actually spotting him. His dad's spotting him. So, I mean, he's one of these guys that you can see that everything is there. The genetic shape, it's just a few tweaks to his physique and his conditioning. Yeah. And you just know that, because he's a smart guy as well. He's got a smart approach. That's right. And I think it was a wise decision in pulling out of the New York Pro, because, I mean, you can't jeopardize your health, because guys have done that. You pay the price.
Exactly.
Pay the price. Right. Anyway, so obviously, we're obviously eagerly waiting to hear when Carlos will be making his pro debut. But of course, all that aside, when you think about all the issues that bodybuilders have had, like dying and health issues, we just hope that he's a smart enough guy to get his health sorted first.
Well, he's definitely putting it first anyway, so yeah.
If he came to you and said, Uncle Derek, advise me, what do I do? What would you say to him to do?
I would say, first of all, health, as I said to him in the show, I says, your health is number one.
Yeah.
Right. Your health is number one. Your competition, your bodybuilding, the stage will always be there. Yep. The stage will always be there. So he definitely made the right decision. So
30 years old, mate.
And he's only 30.
And Derek, look at the kind of improvements this guy's making from 20 in 5 years. Look at that. Tell you what, though, the quads were good then. His quads are good. So he went from, in 2016, he was last in the middleweight class at the NPC Nationals in 2016. And then 5 years later, so it was last place in the middleweight, under 80 kilo. 5 years later, he's first in the super heavyweights.
Wow.
So, and that's on a pretty short guy, so that shows you how much muscle he's packed onto his frame.
On there.
I just think once he refines it and he brings that back up, because his back from the front is very, very good.
Yeah.
So I think, I just I a lot of expectation on this guy, and I think it's deserved because I think he's bloody awesome. And but like I said, I'm just happy that he did take that decision, because there's probably guys out there who are competing that with health issues that we don't know about.
That's right.
That are just ignoring it or pushing on through, and that is not the smart thing to do.
Don't ignore it, lads. Don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it. Right, quickly going to go to Eric Wood, who we had in this episode. Another guy I've been keeping an eye on, prepped by Patrick Tour. Derek, do you remember this video we checked out last week? I think it was this one. Do you remember this guy from last week? Remember? He said the good shoulders to waist. Do you remember?
Oh, yes.
Right, we are really losing light now. Yeah, so look at the chest and shoulders. I think he's got a chest pump there, though.
He's been training his
chest, but I'm
good shoulders.
I think he's going to do all right. I think he's going to be a first call-out guy at the New York Pro. So he's making his pro debut this week, Derek.
Wow.
Looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah, it does.
Good. I think he needs a little bit more lat thickness.
I want to see his back. Is there any shots of his back?
His back is good, but not quite as good from the front. I mean, it's wide.
Listen, that's not bad.
I've got high standards, Derek.
What?
I go.
No, for his pro debut. Nah, man.
No, man. Yeah. Well, all right, okay, I stand corrected.
Right.
He'd obviously just trained back there, so he's got a back pump. So that's better. I'm nice and light now and beautiful. Right, okay. Yeah, actually his back does look good. But do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Derek, though? Sometimes some body parts don't come out until you in those last few weeks.
Oh, probably
My legs look terrible until the last 4 weeks because I got them so separated and so shredded, they looked all right. They didn't look well, they didn't look as shit.
That's a good back.
Yeah.
That's a good back. It's wide.
He's dry, isn't he?
He's got thickness. He's got thickness. You can see he's got thickness.
The thing is, Derek, I didn't see that. I haven't seen this update. So this is 10 days out. So I think he's transformed there in the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, man.
Really has. So keep an eye out for this guy for the New York Pro. I'll be doing by the time you watch this, the live Power Hour, myself and Ron Harris will be out. So you will, you'll see who we've got in our predictions and who we think will do well and who will do well, basically, because we don't say who's going to do not well. It's Eric Wood. So keep an eye out for this guy because, he turned pro at the 2021 North Americans, turned pro there, and now he's making his pro debut at the New York Pro. He said, as you saw in the interview, he's not got any more shows planned after that, possibly Toronto. So, but I just got a good feeling about this guy because he's got nice balance, nice symmetry, condition, good coach.
Yes,
yeah. Patrick Tour, yeah, and he's got a nice top aesthetic coach. Shape as well.
Yeah, yes.
You know, do you rate him?
I rate him. I think Patrick is to me the man of the moment for me.
Patrick and Milos.
Him and Milos.
I think if you had a dinner party and you had your wish list,
Milos would be first.
Right, okay, Derek, okay.
First,
you're on Come Dine With Me. It's a British TV show. It's really shit. And you had to invite your wish list of people alive or dead. Who would you invite?
Milos.
Elvis.
Milos. Let me see. Definitely Ronnie.
Ronnie, yeah.
Lee Haney.
Samson.
Yeah.
Samson
would be there. Patrick Tour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my top 5.
Okay. Top 5. Well, I'm a bit disappointed you didn't invite me, but there you go. That's fine, Derek. Fine, So I'm gonna spit on your chips tonight when you go to the toilet. Right. Okay, quick, because we're trying to race through this. Yeah. So, like I said, it's been an absolutely, a huge episode. This one. This is Carlos Philbrick, and he said before we started recording, his name's not Carlos, it's Carl.
It's Carl.
Yeah, it's Carl. So Carl Philbrick. Carlos sounds more exotic.
Yeah, that's what he said. More Mediterranean.
Did he?
Yeah.
Mediterranean. So, so obviously he turned pro last night at the... Looks good, yeah, at the muscle contest. Very, very improved over last year. Went over to Sweden but didn't compete. How could you do that, though? If you're on prep and why didn't you just jump in the show?
Because it was his downtime.
God, we are losing light fast. Sorry, guys. I'm just...
Said it was his downtime, so...
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Downtime, bloody prepping. Yeah, so I used to love prepping. I used to love dieting.
Yeah,
I used to diet for fun, nice aesthetic physique. So competes at, do you say 213? So, maybe he can jump in the 212s. Well, he said he wants to do an off-season, doesn't he?
It's not bad, is it?
It looks good. Looks good.
Well, look for winning anyway.
Looks good.
He had his mum there, which was nice.
Yep.
Remember doing that myself. I had my mum at my show when I won.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Nabba, was it the Nabba last? What was the Oscars?
Oscar.
Yeah, Nabba Oscars. Yeah.
Oh, she came watch your show. I did probably the same venue actually, the Briley Hill.
Yeah.
My whole family, my dad and my stepmom flew from Cyprus. My mum was there, my aunties, my uncles, my sisters.
It was a nice feeling.
One of my sister's mates that I used to fancy when I was 14, she was there. That was cool. Seeing me in my trunks, so I was like, no, don't. You had your chance when I was 13. One of the big podgy 13-year-old. Now I'm all ripped and sexy for 2 days before I get all bloated again. Obviously Carlos there winning his pro card at the Muscle Contest Island, show that I was obviously hoping to be at this year, but I had a very interesting experience that last year. You've heard the story many times. So I just want to give him some acknowledgement, obviously, because he's a new pro, well, and he's a Brit,
nice guy, and
you can see his upper pecs and his riddle bicep.
Yep.
That's impressive. Oh my God, we are really getting dark now. So we are really going to have to roll this along before I'm in the complete dark. Oh God, this is terrible. I really maybe should have switched to studio light for this one. I gotta be honest. Right, quickly going to go to who the hell's this? Mitchell Gilbert. Oh, Gilco Productions. Because obviously it was the Pittsburgh Pro last night, and they film all the. So I want to get your reaction, Derek, for who guest posed at the. I know who stole the show and who I predicted would steal the show. Yeah. But there you go. There's little mini Ronnie Coleman.
Oh, yes.
I mean, he's just a monster, isn't he?
He's a monster.
The current 212 Olympia champion. I was kind of hoping he was going to jump in the Masters Olympia, because he's 40.
Is he 40?
Yeah, he's 40. He's just turned 40. Yeah. So
he bet my table too, I think.
Yeah, his legs. It's funny though, because he looks misshapen when he's off season, but he's actually got a really nice shape.
Yes.
So I mean, he looks like he's about to pop, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I love Sean Clarida. He's one of my favorite guys. He's a cool dude, and he is literally the 212 Ronnie Coleman. Yeah. So right, quickly going to go to our main guy who's been off gear for 7 weeks. Look at that. Was it Carlos said? He said he thinks he's the biggest.
Yeah.
He says he's absolutely the biggest bodybuilder right now. But look at the size of Samson. So we're gonna have to really race through these, because we're gonna be sat in the darkness in a bit. So look at that. I mean, that's not bad condition, is it? For full on off season. And I think he's like 320 at the moment. In fact, I'm going to quickly switch to his Instagram, because he stepped on the scale today, which would have been the day after this. Hang on, let's just click on that and then we'll click back. My voice is going now. I've been talking so much on the bloody show.
Freaker.
Hey, Arlette. Hey, Derek. 146 kilos. 322. 322. I'll just let you digest that, Derek.
Wow. That's a big dude. That's a big brick. I'm going to give it a shout out for Brick. That's a big brick, man.
Big brick. Yeah. That
brick,
is
brick.
Look at his feet. Do you know what? I feel sorry for the weighing scale.
Yeah.
It's like I feel sorry for his toilet. He must have. I mean, the thing is, guys like I must have. I said that to Jamie the Giant. You must have a reinforced toilet, surely.
Yeah.
So look at that. I mean, can you imagine how he's going to look at the Olympia? And knowing he's got that 300, it's not just about the money, but it's about the win and the confidence that gives you, and the acknowledgement, and and just the motivation and that push. He's going into the Olympia knowing that he's a factor, he's a force now.
It's definitely the force.
Yeah. So let's go back quickly, and we'll go back to Rami. What do you think? What do you think? I think his best days are behind him, aren't they?
Wait 1 minute. Let me just.
Oh, you lost something.
No. I'm just right. Yeah. Hold on. Yep.
Oh God, we are bright. We are really losing light now, guys. So please forgive us for the light situation. I didn't realize. I thought it was getting later, a bit lighter. That sounds right.
He's a big dude.
He's still a big dude. Yeah.
Still a big dude.
I think. Because he looked good at the Arnold. I didn't expect him to look that good at the Arnold, because he looked a lot better at the Arnold he did at the Olympia, and I kind of expected him to look worse. Derek, are you switching to yourself?
No.
You're going to be in the bloody darkness anyway.
Exactly.
Derek, we're really going to have to wrap this up, mate, because we're literally going to be sitting pitch black here, so it's going to be bloody embarrassing. And I'm going a funny shade of pink, and I don't like it. So, okay, I'll quickly look at the other main guy. Derek Lunsford, the number 2 in the world right now. I honestly think the top 3 at the Olympia is going to be Hadi, Derek, and Samson this year, mate. I really do.
Yeah.
Look at that. Thing is, like some of the other guys, their shape's gone a bit weird. But Derek's shape looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You know?
It does.
Even with, the bit of body fat and, he's not obviously not in contest condition here. Look at his back. Look at the back. You can still see some striations there.
You can just you can see the thickness anyway, can't you?
Yeah. What do you think, Derek?
Yeah, man. I like him.
He's about 260 there, And this is a guy that used to compete as a bloody middleweight. So, I mean, obviously, no, he's not in contest condition, but tell you what, I think Hadi's in trouble this year. I mean, no, I think I stand by what I say. I think it's going to be Hadi, Derek, and Samson, the top 3, and I can't tell you what order that will be. So, look at that. Look at this. I mean, there's not many gaps left, is there?
No.
I mean, he's filling those gaps in nicely.
That's a full back, right down to the waist.
It's voluptuous.
Yeah.
Bulbous. Voluptuous. Cascading. I'll try get your thesaurus out, Derek.
I like when you see when you turn down and you see the back, you see the two center from the center outward. You can see the thickness. I love to see that. I love seeing
awesome. That. Do you know what? I mean, obviously we love seeing guys in contest condition, but do you know what? I really do love seeing the guys when they're full on off season. Remember when Jay and Ronnie and they just look like mutants, didn't they? I remember seeing Dorian Yates in 1994, right? Off season 290, just before he ripped the bicep. February 1994 it was, and 94, yeah, and in Sidmouth, Devon, and I'd never seen it like before in my life. If I didn't fall in love with bodybuilding before then, I certainly did that day, because I just thought, my, and the crowd, the response to someone that had pushed their body to this level of muscularity that's never been seen before. It just. Like Ernie,
isn't it?
I mean, you've seen Ernie Taylor guest posing. You're like, and you see all the amateurs. They guest like Ernie Taylor guest poses at a qualifier, and you see him full on off season, and you're just like, you just realise there's a big difference between
huge,
a light heavy in the amateurs, and then freaking off season Ernie or Dorian. JD Dewadu, Amory. Oh my God, these guys. Yeah. So, right, okay, really going to have to quickly wrap it up. I know I keep saying that. Hunter Labrada looked very good as well. Nick Walker, I'm not the biggest Nick Walker fan, I'll say it. I think he's a fantastic bodybuilder, but that's not my kind of physique. I would take Derek Lunsford any day over that. He looks good. I mean, he's a monster.
He's a big guy. He's still carrying a lot of muscle and thing like that.
He's a big dude.
He'll be up there anyway, so.
Well, he was third in the Olympia, mate.
Yeah, that's what I mean, so.
He's only in his 20s. Yeah, the guy won in his second year as a pro. He won the New York Pro and the Arnold Classic.
And he said he's only in his 20s.
Top 5 at Olympia, 5th place at Olympia. So, but this guy has a fan base like nobody else.
I can believe it.
I mean, it's probably rivaling that of Rami's in the Middle East. So you're talking. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe Rami's got bigger. I don't know. Didn't get his tan right. I know it's a guest posing, but you've got to at least get your tan right, guys.
Yeah, you got to look good.
Do you know what though? I think it's the lighting. I think everyone looks shit. I mean, no, everyone's tan looks shit.
Yeah.
Apart from Samson, obviously.
Yeah, because it probably really bright lights or something.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, some of the I'm going to go to the competitors quickly. Oh, there's Ashley. We've had her in the studio. Derek?
Yeah.
We had Ashley here in this studio. Looks fantastic as ever. Did she win? I don't know. So anyway, okay, quickly go on to Bodybuilders Without Borders. Completely forgot why. I've completely forgot why. Oh, I think it was actually the guest posing I wanted to show. So, and obviously, big congratulations there to Brian Bullman and Tamer El-Gwindi for the Muscle Contest Ireland. I will be there next year, guys, and who knows, maybe I might even consider doing the MCing again. Do you know what? Maybe I wasn't MCing this year if I was going, but maybe I need to tick that box. So, and quickly to finish off, we will go to It was Ronnie Coleman's birthday this week.
Oh, yes, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Ronnie.
Yesterday. Do you know why? Do you know how I know it? Because it's the same day as Lawrence. Yeah. Same day as my wonderful Lady T. Here we are at the Olympia. There was Steve Blackman, the boss. That was the night. That was the finals of the Olympia. We were literally just on our way to the finals. So, I mean, that's probably that's Christmas for me.
Yeah.
When you meet down in the lobby and you're all dressed up with your shirt and your tie on, and everyone's looking amazing, everyone's glammed up, and you're going to the finals. I'm telling you, Derek, the buzz, and everyone coming down for the lifts, all dressed up, and everyone's excited, everyone's like like excited about who's going to win, and it's just I can't explain it. If you ever get to Olympia and Arnold Classics, get yourself to one, guys. It is absolutely incredible. Yeah. So big happy birthday there to my good friend Ronnie Coleman, and obviously and obviously beloved Lauren Lotter, Lady T.
Oh, Lady T too. Yes, happy birthday, Lady T.
Lady too. So so I always tell her I never forget a birthday because it's Ronnie Coleman's. So okay then, guys. Also check out the latest issue of MD. I believe the new one will be out very, very soon. And of course, a big thank you to my main man Derek Clark in the house, Big D.
Bit dark corner, but I mean I'm still here and giving a big shout out to everybody. Love you all.
And he's getting bigger by the week, and I'm starting to feel very inadequate. And you're getting really dark now as well. So I think we better get our asses to Toro's and hope they've got that full chicken, because otherwise that will be hell to pay. Right, okay. Literally, I'm sitting the pitch black here. So, okay, guys, and please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we will see you next week for more MD Globe Muscle. So, with my main man Derek Clark, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, and ladies and gentlemen, we are out.